You'll call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody. Let them know that Roadium Radio is live up in this biatch.
Yeah, Dr. Dre is in full effect, and I gotta tell y'all a little something. Eazy-E is down with us. MC Ring, you know he's down with us. DJ Yella is down with us. Arabian Prince, you know he's down with us. Tony A the Wizard is down with us. JJ Fag is down with us. Timmy T, you know he's down with us. DJ Pooh Boy is down with us. Toddy B and Spade, they're down with us. My boy Ice Cube, you know he's down with us. I like to mention, so pay attention to where I'm from, Compton, but the tapes are from the Roadium. My name is Dre, listen while I play. And by the way, I'm also down with NWA. Yo, Steve at the Roadium is down with us. Slanging funky tapes, it is a must. We're number one.
Tony A. Tony A. When you're ready, go.
Welcome everybody to Roadium Radio episode 55. And today, not only do I have one guest, but I have two guests today, okay? I'm really excited about interviewing both of them. But before we get into it, I have to promote myself until it pays off. So once again, these 4 CDs that were converted into 4 CDs from cassette are now remastered and available. I have The Bullshit, I have The Scandalous, I have In Effect. Most people ask, what intro song do I use? Well, it's on In Effect. So if you purchase it, you'll get it. And Dope Beats, okay, 2 by me and 2 by Dr. Dre. And they've been out since Wednesday, and I already sold half of them, okay? So get them because they're only going to be for a limited time. Once again, 4 for $30, or you can get 4 for $30 via downloads on the website, DOCUMIXERY.com. Also, the DOCUMIXERY, you can also watch it now for unlimited streaming available. Soon it'll be available on Blu-ray. Give us about a month or so to get those printed up, and you'll be able to purchase the hard copy for those that want to purchase a hard copy. But for now, you can watch it for unlimited streaming at DOCUMIXERY.com, and you get 20% off for using the promo code TRMD20, TRMD20. And last but not least, last Wednesday, we started a GoFundMe page for the Chicano rap documentary that's going to be directed by me and by my boy John motherfucking Elkins and my team. Okay. Today is Sunday. We're close to $4,500 already, and we're asking our goals to meet 15,000. We're almost at 4,500. So just in a couple of days, people have contributed, people have donated. So everybody who was given, please go to DOCUMIXERY.com, and you'll be able to find the Chicano rap documentary tab there, and it'll tell you the incentives for giving for those that give $50, for those that give $100. There's people that have been dropping $100 on us, and we greatly appreciate it, and we thank you for allowing us to be able to bring, if you will, history to the big screen. So without further ado, please allow me to introduce Infinite TGM, the Grandmaster.
What's going on, man?
What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Good. Chilling. Okay.
Chilling?
Yes, sir.
Now, the Grandmaster, we're not talking about like the Grandmaster of the Ku Klux Klan. We're not talking about the Grandmaster of Kung Fu.
Right.
Or the Grand Zoo Chef from Benihana's, right?
Right.
Why the Grandmaster?
The Grandmaster, I was I don't know, man. When I was younger, before I had started, my name was just Infinite at first. I didn't add the TGM till later. I like a lot of, like, you know, I'm very inspired by a lot of, like, you know, martial arts stuff, like movies and things like that. I'm very into it. So like just the Grandmaster, I don't know, it just has some kind of ring to it. You know what I mean? I felt like maybe if I added it to my name, it'd be pretty tight. So I was like, you know, cool. I'll just add it. I remember when I added it, not a lot of people just knew me as Infinite. And I just did it to see how people would react to it, and they were like, "Hey, yo, the Grandmaster," and they would like repeat it and say it to me and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. It was pretty dope, and I just ran with it. I just pretty much ran with it after that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the Grandmaster, do you know any type of martial arts?
No.
No, so you're kind of fronting.
Yeah, a little bit, I guess.
You ever heard that song "Ain't No Future in Your"? I'm only playing, but anyways, I like to play around, so.
Right? No, yeah, I feel it. It's
All
good. It's
all
good.
So earlier we were talking about do you have any toys?
Yeah.
And you said what?
I said I got a Dragon Ball Z collection.
Dragon Ball Z. What is it about Dragon Balls?
It's just it's a cool, I don't know, some people don't consider it anime for some reason, but it's just a cool little show. It's a fighting, it's a martial arts. It's a martial arts show with like enhanced powers and stuff like that. I don't know, man. I watched it as a kid. I started watching it when I was growing up. My cousin showed it to me. I got super into it, and people are grown as hell now, and they're like super into it too. So I stay connected to some of my my roots and stuff from when I was growing up and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just a very advanced fighting show. That's all it is.
Okay.
It's just a bunch of fighting scenes.
Other than anime, because I was never really a fan of anime,
Right.
but it's all good. No
Right.
worries. Growing up, what was your favorite cartoon?
Oh, that's hard. I had a lot of favorite cartoons growing up. I think maybe Ed and Eddie probably.
Okay.
Growing up on like Cartoon Network, stuff like that, like Courage the Cowardly Dog and things like that.
Were you like a Power Ranger guy?
Yeah, I really was.
Were you ever a Power Ranger for Halloween?
Was I? I don't even know, dude.
The pink one.
Hell no. No, I think I was once. I don't remember though. I don't quite remember like off the top of my head, but I think I was. I'm pretty sure.
For real?
Yeah, I think I probably was a ninja too for Halloween.
Hell yeah. I like that. Ninja. Hell yeah. Beverly Hills Ninja. Oh, Riverside, right?
Yeah, Riverside.
Okay. Now, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and open up the floor and allow you to speak and tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Like, where are you originally from?
For sure. So I was born in Brooklyn, New York.
No shit.
Yeah, I was born in Brooklyn, New York. I have family out there still to this day. Lived out there until I was about 11, 12 years old. From there, my mom packed up, moved us out here to Riverside, and I've been living there ever since. So yeah, I've been there for a cool minute. So that's why I got a little piece of New York in me sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
I can tell by your rapping, man.
Yeah, I'm very influenced by East Coast shit. I mean, don't get me wrong, I got love for both sides, man. East Coast and West Coast rap is like one of the greatest, I feel like, genres of rap. And it's just I'm very influenced by both, but like I guess with my writing style, I guess I'm very more into like the ruggish, like boom bap, like 90s hip hop stuff, like Wu-Tang, Mobb Deep kind of stuff, you know what I mean? So I was and it was funny too, because growing up in New York, I wasn't even into hip hop like that, because I lived in a no hip hop household. I lived in a household where there was no hip hop allowed. So the only time I got to listen to hip hop was when I was with my other family, like my cousins, or they would like put me on to like certain artists like Biggie and Jay-Z and all that. So I would always have to sneak around with like with my other family to listen to hip hop and stuff like that. So yeah, it was very hard. But growing up, my father, he was a metalhead. He liked a lot of heavy metal stuff, this and that. So that's what he would show me. He hated hip hop. He didn't like hip hop at all. He thought hip hop was it wasn't good for me. I don't know. It was just, my dad is just very weird. But yeah, that's what I grew up on. And then I didn't actually start getting into hip hop like more until I moved to Cali. I moved to Cali. I started kind of doing my research and just listening to more stuff from out here, and doing just kind of looking up like what's the difference between the East Coast and the West Coast rap and stuff like that. Just kind of doing my research and my homework on it.
Okay, you touched on a couple of things that I want to touch on. Actually, that I want to bring up.
Right.
You're originally from Brooklyn. You moved over here when you were 11. But you were not allowed to play hip hop at home. Why was that? Was that because of a religious?
Yeah, I come from a religious background. Okay. My whole family is very into Christianity, so it was very hard for me to play any kind of hip hop. So
porque era música del diablo.
Yeah, pretty much. That's all my mom used to tell me. Shout out to my mom, but. At the end of the day, it was just, I guess it was just, she couldn't keep me away from it. You know what I mean? Regardless, it was just a thing that I was going to do, whether she wanted me to or not, or it was something that I would like. And I remember I would go, like, when I moved here, and I was, like, I think maybe, like, 12 or, like 13, 14, I would go to these CD stores, and I would buy these albums. I would buy all these rap CDs, and I would have to hide them. I would have to hide them in my backpack. I would have to hide them, just make sure. And then whenever I played it, I couldn't play it loud. I had to have like a CD, had like a little CD player or something. I just put my headphones on. Oh my bad, I have headphones on, and then just listen to it like that. Okay. And that's pretty much how I went for a minute. And then until I got an iPod and stuff like that, it became much easier.
Now, when you guys came over here, did you guys fly? You guys drive?
We flew.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? The reason why I asked that because when I was in junior high school, now they call it middle school, I had friends that came from New York, and they actually drove down here from New York, you know. And I used to always ask them questions because when I was a kid, I used to always want to be from New York. You know, you grew up watching Star Wars, Beat Street, you know, those type of movies. You always wanted to have that New York style. So when he told me he was from New York, Puerto Rican kid, and he had that accent, you know, so I would always, ask him about New York shit.
Right.
Do you go back to visit?
I haven't been there since I was about, I think the last time I went out there when I was like about 13. It's been a long time.
I think within a year ago, I was out there like 3 times.
Okay.
I got a good friend that lives in Harlem, so when I go, I'll go stay with him, or I'll go visit. When I used to go visit my daughter in Jersey, I would catch a train to New York and get up right there in Times Square, Madison Square Garden, and pretty much just walk through there and meet my friend at this is 50 building. He works.
Oh shit! Okay.
He works for there. I did an interview with there where 50 Cent has his building or whatnot. Then we would catch the subway. So he gave me the whole tour like of New York, you know, several times.
That's dope.
I went into the Bronx where Kool Herc's place was at, where hip hop pretty much started.
Right.
You know. So you come over here and you sneak away. Well, what do you think it was that attracted you to hip hop? Because you come from a religious background,
right,
where possibly all they played was gospel music. Okay. But why not rock music when your dad listened to rock? Why not possibly R&B? Why? What was it about hip hop?
I don't know, man. Honestly, to this day, it's just something that the sound, the way it was, because I was, like I said, my when I was growing up, my dad only had me on like heavy metal, rock, R&B, alternative kind of stuff. Not R&B, but like just rock and roll stuff. And then listening to hip hop, I remember listening to it with my cousins. They'll just be like, yo, like they'll kind of, I think it was like they actually made me listen to the lyrics, like the certain things that were said. I think I like overall was just the poetry behind a lot of these lyrics, a lot of the bars, a lot of the, things. It was different to me. It was very out of the ordinary because it's not like a rock song, like, where it's like a whole bunch of singing and it's like a whole bunch of melodies being hit, this and that, which it was very different at the time, you know what I'm saying? And like, just, I don't know, man, something about it just really drew me near to it, and just, it became my thing. But keep in mind though, like even throughout that time, I didn't think I was going to be rapping though. I loved hip hop. I loved music. I loved everything, but I didn't decide until later that I was going to be like, okay, I'm going to try to rap. I'm going to try to do this for like, this is what I like to do. You know what I mean?
Before rap came into your life, what did you want to be? Did you want to be like a cop, a fireman, a preacher, or what?
I had wanted to be an EMT.
Okay.
I wanted to be an EMT. Just because I got very into it during school. They were like talking about careers and stuff like that, and certain like, so they would talk about the EMT. I remember I went to this class, I forgot what grade it was in, and they were talking about like, oh yeah, to be an EMT, you get to do this, you gotta do that, you gotta work long hours, but it's good pay, blah 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 blah. So I grew up on the mindset, thinking like, okay, when I grow up, I gotta get a good job to make good money. You know what I'm saying? To make a good amount of money to take care of myself, to care, whenever I go on and live by myself and things like that. So that was what I was like set on. And for a minute, I did try to study it. I tried to, go through all that, but I don't know. It just never stuck. It never clicked. Yeah.
Do you ever think about going back and doing anything like that, or do you want to pretty much want music to be your future?
I think music has for me is probably, it's gonna be my future, because I'm still in the process, you know what I'm saying? Everything has steps, everything has levels, and right now I'm still making that history, you know what I'm saying? Even right now as we're sitting here, like this is part of my history when so I know for a fact that music is something I want to do for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? So as far as going back, I don't think I would. I don't think I will. Even if I was given the opportunity to, I probably wouldn't. Just because it just didn't make me happy. I remember sitting in a college class trying to learn the EMT thing and just feeling very, very unsatisfied. And it was just a very unsatisfying feeling, sitting there and thinking like, man, like I don't even know if I want to do this right now. Like I don't even really know if I want to keep going with this. Like, is this something that I really want, or is I'm just doing it because I feel like I have to, for the sake of like making money and making this and making that, you know what I mean? So it was a very hard decision to make, because I left school to like pursue my
Pretty much to be a
with
rapper.
yeah, you know what I mean? And it's a very, very far-fetched idea, but at that time I really didn't give a shit. I was like, you know what? I believe in myself enough to do what I have to do, and that's all I need. And I just need to just keep pushing and be determined and just be confident, you know what I mean, that I can actually truly make something out of this. You know what I'm saying?
Now, you leaving school, what did your family say?
What didn't they say?
You're going to hell.
Yeah, it was a whole thing. But you know, because it was mostly my mom. My mom, she really got really upset with she was very enforced. My dad wasn't so much. She was the one that was really enforced on, like, you're gonna go to hell if you listen to rap music, if you listen to this kind of music. And so it's like, when I decided to not go back to school, when I started to leave school, I was like, you know what? Like, you know, I love you to death. Like, you've done a lot for me, but you know, you're not gonna tell me that I can't do something. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, parents, you look at your parents and you respect them, but when it comes to the point where they start telling you, like, yo, you can't do that. You can't be this thing that you want to be because you have to. And I get it, because you know, a lot of our parents, they come up from a place where they've struggled and they've had to go and get these jobs and make this kind of money and in order to survive and in order to build a better life for their kids. But once they build that better life for their kids, it's like, okay, now they're trying to enforce that same process on their children. Like, you got to do the same things I did in order to make it. You know what I'm saying? Which in entirety, like, we live in an entirely different world, like us as being their children. Like, we live in an entirely different world where they've made a better life for us, and we don't have to struggle the way they did, but we just have to give that push in order to be successful, you know what I'm saying? So I remember telling her, I was like, if you want me to put that same amount of energy into being an EMT to make it as an EMT, why can't I put the same amount of energy into being a musician, into being a rapper, into being whatever it is the case may be, and still succeed in that? You know what I'm saying? And she didn't understand it at first. She was very, because, you know, she was just very set on just like, you need to do this, you need to do that. And at that point, I was just like, I'm sorry, like, I can't. You know what I'm saying? I got to do what I feel like is right for me, what's going to make me happy. Like, I don't, you know, I told myself all the time, like, I don't want to wake up every day and be like, oh, I got to go do this, I got to go do that, I got to go to work, I would rather, you know, wake up and be like, oh, I got to go do this today, so I'm excited for that. I want to, you know, it's like I want to be excited to do what I do for a living. You know what I mean? And
okay,
yeah, so that's pretty much. She wasn't really also happy about it, but as time progressed, she got it a little bit. She kind of understood. You know what I mean?
Is your relationship good with her right now?
Yeah. Of course, it's yeah. Me and her, we're great. We're on great terms. Yeah, of course, she doesn't understand some of the things I do, but at the end of the day, I guess, you know, I guess I kind of take it from, because I have a son as well right now, and just thinking about it, you know, him growing up, I'm just gonna be. I know I'm probably gonna do the same things. You know what I'm saying? It's just full. So it's gonna come around full circle. But at the end of the day, I just gotta try to understand, like, where she came from, where, you know, you just try to understand those lessons.
Okay, now let me ask you. Your son tells your dad, I want to be a rapper. What do you say?
I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, I mean, I want my son to be able to be whatever he can and do whatever he wants to do. And if he truly believes in something, and if he truly believes, like, he wants to be a professional dancer, he wants to be a rapper, he wants to be an actor, or he wants to be this, he wants to be a weatherman, whatever the case may be. I mean, my whole thing is always, if you believe you can do it, do it. Like, don't let for 1 second anybody tell you that you can't do something, because you're setting that person up for failure. Like, as soon as you say you can't do that, you're speaking that into existence, you're speaking that into the world, and it's like, well, why can't I do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, right. Why can't I go and make a dope song, or why can't I go and dance like this and be like that? Like, if a lot of people listen to the words of even their relatives or family members, and a lot of people listen to the things that they thought and said, we wouldn't have artists like, you know, like Ice Cube. We wouldn't have artists and producers like Dr. Dre. We wouldn't have the people that are, you know, legends in the game, and people who've been making moves like that. We wouldn't have any of those people, because they would have said, okay, well, they said I can't do this, they must be right, I can't do this, so I'm not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like, if my son comes to me like, yo, I want to be a rapper, Dad, I'm like, okay, well, make sure that's what you want. Like, that's the thing. Like, anybody can say they want to be something,
right?
But if you don't really want that, like, if you know in your heart, like, you don't want to do this, same thing. Like, it's kind of like the same thing with when I said I wanted to be an EMT. like I said it, and I was like, yeah, I want to be an EMT. I want to do this. I want to drive an ambulance. But if I didn't really want that, it wasn't going to happen. It was never going to work for me because I was going to try to think myself into, yeah, I want this, sort of, kind of, this, and that.
Right.
And every time somebody would ask me about that, it was always that response. Like, it was always like, oh, I kind of like it, or I kind of want to do this, or I kind of want to be that. And it was just never like, yes, yeah, of course, I love this. This is like my shit. I love doing this. I love learning about this. But when it came to music, it was always like that response, like, yeah, I love this. Like, I love doing this. This is something that is amazing for me. You know what I'm saying?
Say we're back in the 90s or maybe early 2000s and I ask you to burn me a CD.
Right.
Okay? And I say, here's a CD, put your favorite 5 hip-hop groups. They don't have to be from back then, they could be from now, but I'm just saying. Put them on a CD. Name me 5 of your favorite hip-hop groups that you listen to today.
Okay, groups, right?
Yeah,
Not saying,
or rap, doesn't matter.
Okay, because I can name you a couple groups that I know for sure have like influenced me.
Okay.
From like today and like back then.
Yeah, just give me a
Wu-Tang for sure.
Okay.
Wu-Tang is my deep root, man. I love Wu-Tang so much. It was just something about their gritty style and everything that caught my attention. Wu-Tang, that's like something from back then. I can say Atmosphere.
Okay.
Atmosphere, that influenced me a lot as well coming up.
Again, it just doesn't have to be from back then. It
Right.
could be even now.
Probably from now, if I probably they're not, and well, it's not necessarily a group, but Dreamville, like the J. Cole label kind of
Okay.
thing. Yeah, he's got like a whole gang of artists that are just very lyrical, very poetic, very spiritual rappers. Like, they just insane, their wordplay, all that. Like, I'm really into all that.
Okay.
So that would be another one. Let me see. I'm trying to think of another. ASAP Mob, probably.
Okay.
I'm really into them just because more or less not their trap stuff, but when they do like hip hop, because there's times where because they're all from the East Coast, so like they all do like, there's times where they've done like very East Coast type songs. Like, I know one of them did a song with like Method Man and stuff like that. So very stuff like that always catches my attention. It's always like, damn, like I love this sound. Like, there's just something about this sound that grabs my attention. So it's I don't know. It's very back and forth. But what else? I'm trying to think.
Give me one more. Doesn't have to be a group, could just be a rapper.
Okay, a rapper. Dang, I always hate this question, man, because then I start listing through all of these fucking people in my head. Because I have a love for a lot of artists.
Okay, now let me ask you: do you like Tribe Called Quest?
Yeah. Okay.
But that just wouldn't be somebody that you would say was influenced.
Not exactly. I mean, I love Tribe Called Quest. I love their music. I think it was not at the time where I was coming up. It wasn't what I was listening to that got me to push myself. I think one I can artist, and I know it's very cliche. If I had to name one artist, it'd probably be Biggie, because Biggie coming up and starting out, I listened to a lot of the Biggie album, like the Ready to Die album. That was like on replay a lot for me. Like it was very it tuned me into my like hip hop emotion. Like I got very well with it, and I love that album. That's like one of my favorite albums.
Did you like the movie?
Yeah, I love the movie. I thought the movie was crazy, but yeah, I thought the movie was dope, and I think maybe that movie too, when it came out, I forgot when it came out, but I don't know if I was in high school. I forget where I was at when it came out, but I know for sure when I watched it, it did inspire me a lot to do like a lot of
So
stuff.
you have the 8 Mile, you have the Get Rich or Die Trying 50 Cent movie, you have Straight Outta Compton, you have the Tupac movie, and then you have the Notorious.
Right.
Out of those 5, which one would you say was your favorite?
Oh, that's such a hard ass question because I love all those movies.
You have to pick one, man.
Okay, if I had to pick one,
Quarantine style, you just got to pick one and watch it.
shit, 8 Mile.
For reals?
I love 8 Mile. I love 8 Mile for the simple fact that 8 Mile, I love the fact that how they brought the battle rap scene, how the underground, how people were all together like battling, like they would spin the beats and they were like, all right, just spit, just do whatever you got to do, just battle this dude, and then if you won, you got respect, if you lost, you got clowned. And it was like the overall look on that was just like, damn, like that's crazy to me. And I guess the way they did the battles at the end, towards the end of the movie, I think that's what grasped me in more, because the first time watching that, was like, damn, like, you know, you're waiting for the comebacks. It's like watching any other battle now that you see on YouTube and stuff like that. You watch rap battles, you're just waiting for the response. Like, all right, how is he gonna top that, or how is he gonna, you know what I'm saying? When I tried to, you know, not get into battle rap, but like I was always a fan of it. Like I was always listening to it and stuff like that. So I was always like trying to like, man, I wonder if I ever did battle rap, how it would sound. I can't battle rap though. I feel like battle rapping and making music, rapping, like hip hop stuff, it's very different. It's very, I feel like it's a very different thing to me.
Now you say battle rapping. Now let me say this though, but can you freestyle?
No, I cannot.
Okay,
freestyle.
now would you say that's the same thing?
Yes and no, because battle rap now, it's pure written. Like I don't care what anybody tells you, that all that shit is written. It's not freestyled. I mean, maybe if somebody forgets the line and they just like fuck, they can't remember it for the life of them, then yeah, they go off the top, and you'll know when somebody goes off the top, and you'll know when somebody has their shit memorized to a T and written it down. As far as me, I don't freestyle. I've never freestyled. I've like I've freestyled with my friends and whatever, but I've never been that person to be like, yeah, I'm gonna spit something off the top of the dome, because I'm not gonna front and act like, yo, I know how to do this, I know how to spit this, like, yeah, it's easy. No, I'm not gonna do that, because if I know I can't do something, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna just leave it to the people who can, because there are people who can. I've met a lot of people who freestyle off the top of the dome and they act like they wrote it. You know what I'm saying? They just like, man, I wrote this. They're like, I didn't write this. This is all off the top of the dome, and people just spit like that. And you know, sometimes you give them a topic and they're just like going off and off and off and off and off, and they don't stop. So you know what I'm saying? With me, I always tell everybody when somebody tells me to freestyle, because that's like the very that's the thing everybody thinks of when you say I'm a rapper. I'm a rapper. Like, hey, so let me hear you freestyle, and it's like, no, because I don't do that. I'm a writer, man. That's my shit. I write my poetry.
We got a few minutes left before we go to break, and I wanted to ask you, how old were you when you first started writing? Like, I'm gonna try to do this shit.
I think I was about 14. I was 14. Yeah, I used to.
What are you in 10th grade?
No. What was I? And yeah, I think it was about 9th, 10th grade, around there.
Okay.
Yeah, it started off just being like in a notebook, composition book. I had like 2 or 3 composition books, and I would always write in them. I was always writing what I was feeling. I was always writing whatever came to my head, or if like a certain line that rhymed that I like, I would just jot it down real quick and just close it up, save it for later.
How soon after that did you start rapping for people? Like, check this out, man. What do you think?
I started rapping for people maybe like 2 or 3 years after that. So,
Really?
Yeah. So like I was like I said, I didn't start listening to hip hop thinking I'm gonna be a rap artist. I'm gonna be a rapper. So even considering the fact that I wanted to rap, it was weird to me, because I knew people who rapped, I knew homies that rapped, and then, you know, people from Riverside who would get down in the studio and this and that. But I never saw myself being that at first, because I doubted myself. I'm like, I can't do this. Okay. I looked at these people spitting and rapping. I'm like, I can't do that. Like, that's crazy. And yeah, so
when you started writing, what did you rap to? Instrumentals? Did you rap over other people's lyrics? How did you do it?
I rapped over the Chronic 2001 beats. I used to rap around. So I had a PS3. And so what I would do, I had an iPhone, and an iPod Touch, like one of the first iPod Touches. What I would do, I would grab the iPod, I would go on YouTube on the PS3. I would go to the Chronic 2001 beats. I would rap to Get Rich or Die Trying beats, stuff like that. I would just write, and I would slide my phone with the recorder on. I would slide it under the TV, have the beat playing, and I would just flip open the book and just start rapping. That's how I would start rapping it. If I fuck up, I'll start it again, do it all over again until I got it all the way through correctly, the way I needed it to. And I would put those songs out on SoundCloud like that. Just like
now, let me ask you this: when you first did that, and you played back, did you like what you heard?
At first, I think I needed because the first song I made like that when I had started was about a girl. A girl.
Okay, why a girl? I want to know.
Because.
Were you in love?
Yeah, I was very sappy. I was very in love. I was just like, oh man, what if I wrote a song about her? Like, I could try it. Like, I could do it. Maybe it'll sound cool.
So is it safe to say that Infinite era bien romántico?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess it's pretty safe to say that it was. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's save that romance stuff till after. We'll come back and
cool.
We'll go ahead and take a little commercial break. So if you need to go to the restroom, go outside to catch some air. Practice your kung fu. All good. Okay, everybody. Once again, we're going to take a 10-minute break. We're going to come right back. Go ahead and buy us out. We already sold half of them, okay? Make sure you buy us out. The Roadium Mixtape DOCUMIXERY TRMD 20 is the promo code. And if you want to donate, go ahead and donate. We appreciate you want to give $1, $2, $3, doesn't matter. It all helps. So once again, call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody, let them know the Infinite TMG is in the motherfucking building, right?
TGM.
See, you're right. I was testing him.
It's all good.
All right. What it do? It's Mr. Little One chilling on Roadium Radio with the one and only Tony A and John motherfucking Elkins, boy.
Hey, what up? It's your boy Mr. Shadow. You're watching Roadium Radio with my homeboy Tony A the Wizard. You know what time it is.
Yeah, what up? This is Mr. Night Owl, and you're listening to Roadium Radio with the legendary Tony A the motherfucking Wizard.
Yo, what's cracking? Nosotros somos Aquid y estamos aquí con Tony A the Wizard. You know Roadium Radio, damn it. You know what it is.
Yo, what up? This is Mellow Man Ace and Padrino, and you tuned in to Roadium Radio with my man Tony A. Keep it locked.
Yo, what's cracking? It's your boy OG Arabian Prince from the world's most dangerous group, NWA. Sitting here with my boy Tony A the Wizard on Roadium Radio.
What's up? This is Esther Dazzle, Spanish Fly, Harbor Area's finest. Tune in to Tony A on Roadium Radio.
What's up, everybody? It's your homegirl Magic Girl, and you are now listening to Roadium Radio with Tony A the Wizard.
Yo, what's up? This is Bozo, aka Emiliano. You tune into Roadium Radio on Tony Viz's YouTube channel. Let's get it.
What up? This is Misfit Soto. You guys are now in tune to Roadium Radio right here on Tony Vision on YouTube. Yep.
Check it out. This is MC Poncho on the MIC. Shout out to Tony A the Wizard, Roadium Radio. You already know.
What up? This is DJ Trick, Spanish Fly, and you're watching Tony A on the Roadium Radio Show.
Big G, Roadium Radio, Tony A in full effect. Stay tuned, watch, listen. This is how we doing it over here.
Yo, what up? I'm out here. This is Big Daddy Swoles. I'm jamming with my man, Tony A the Wizard, out here on Roadium Radio. The podcast is off the hook. Check us out.
This is DJ Clientele, and you are listening to Roadium Radio with Tony A the Wizard.
Yeah, this Baby Bounce here with Tony A the Wizard. You are now tuned in to the Roadium Radio. We do it for the people. You hear me?
Mic check. Ernie G from Proper Dos, and I'm listening to Tony A the motherfucking Wizard on Roadium Radio. And if you don't know, you should know.
What's up, everybody? This is Soren Baker. I'm the author of the book, The History of Gangster Rap, in stores now worldwide. And you're listening to Roadium Radio, hosted by Tony A. Make sure to check it out. We talk about the Roadium mixtapes. We're here. Soren Baker, Roadium Radio.
Y'all, this is Really Greg, and I'm chilling with Tony the Wizard on Roadium Radio.
Yo, this is Daniel Jones, the D to the motherfucking G Media Clips. Here with your boy, Tony A the Wizard on the Roadium Radio Show.
Hey, this is Swifty Blue. I'm right here at Roadium Radio with Tony A the Wizard. Stay tuned.
It's the KAS here live on Roadium Radio with the one and only Tony A the Wizard.
What up, y'all? This is Kiki Smooth, the first Mexican rapper out of Compton, rich and ruthless, and you're listening to the Roadium Radio with Tony A the Grand Wizard, El Mago himself. Hey, Compton's in the house.
What's up? It's Cuete Yes God with my Harbor Audio homeboy Tony A the Wizard on Roadium Radio. Yes God.
Hey, what's up, gente? It's your homeboy Duende. You're tuned into Roadium Radio with my homeboy Tony A the Wizard. Ya te la sabes, wey.
What up? It's your boy Baldachi the Beast, Afro Music, Face of LA, right here at Roadium Radio. Make sure y'all tune in. Your boy Tony A the Wizard.
What's up? This is DJ Dominator, and you're listening to Tony A on Roadium Radio.
This is Kelvin Anderson, owner of the world famous VIP Records, and you listen to my man Tony A the Wizard on Roadium Radio.
Yeah, what up? It's Lil Black, you the brown super baller, and you checking out Roadium Radio with the homeboy Tony A the Wizard.
Yo, what's cracking? It's your boy OG Big Wicked, Real Ones Apparel, Orange County. I here with my boy Tony A the Wizard, Roadium Radio. Yo, make sure to peep it. Peace.
Que tranza raza, aquí su servidor, Sinful El Pecador, and you listening to Roadium Radio with my boy Tony A the Wizard.
Check. What's up? It's your boy Capital I Man from the Mexican Crew. And you're tuning into Roadium Radio with my boy Tony A, the Wizard. Motherfucker's a legend.
What's up, y'all? This is Chris the Glove, and you're watching the Roadium Radio Show on Tony Vision on YouTube.
What's up? This is Mr. D on Roadium Radio, kicking back with the homeboy, Tony A.
Yo, this is Fancy the Boss. Tune in on YouTube at Roadium Radio with Tony A, the Wizard.
What's up? This is Leah Farsayer, aka the Dragon, the Serpent, the Spear. I'm on Roadium Radio with my boy Tony the Wizard.
Hey man, Nick V and Eric V, the Baker Boys in the house, hanging out with Roadium Radio and the one and only Tony the Wizard.
Tony the Wizard, aka Kylo Ren, right here on YouTube, Sundays and Wednesdays.
Tony Vision, subscribe
Tony
now.
Vision, yeah.
Boys, big baby.
What's good with it? This is Old Creep, aka Jay Stompanato. I'm putting it down for Orange County on the Roadium Radio Show by West Coast legend DJ Tony A. We up and out this bitch.
What's up with it, dog? It's West Coast Gilly on Roadium Radio with the legend Tony A, the Wizard on Tony Vision. You know what it is, West Coast to the fullest, believe that.
What's up, everybody? This is Stefan Orier listening to Roadium Radio with Tony A, the Wizard.
Yo, what up? This Big MOC, Mr. Mos MC on the Roadium Radio Show with Tony A, the Grand Wizard, baby. Let's go.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Doughboy Tony. You're tuned into Roadium Radio with West Coast legend Tony A, the Wizard.
What up? It's your boy Lottie the G, straight out of Santa Ana, CA, and we're right here live in the mix with the West Coast legend Tony A, the Wizard on Roadium Radio, Tony Vision on YouTube.
Yo, what's up, world? This is Cool 187, above the law in the building, and you're tuned in to Roadium Radio with my man Tony A, the Wizard. Blah!
What's up? This is Darren Vegas. You're on Roadium Radio with Tony A, the Wizard. Real West Coast hip hop history right here.
Yo, what up? Sleepy Malo in the house, here at the Roadium Radio with my boy Tony A, the Wizard, giving us our voice back. One of the realest motherfuckers I know.
What's up, homie? Show me Frankie Quinones, aka Creeper from Cholo P, and you're listening to Tony A, the Wizard on Roadium Radio. That's what's up right there.
Hey, yo, what's up, man? It's Cujo the Savage. I'm right here with Tony A, the Wizard, Roadium Radio. Everybody stay tuned, man. It's a motherfucking hit.
Yo, shout out to Roadium Radio, Tony A, the Wizard, your boy Pablo Nunez right here in the studio. Be about it, people.
¿Qué onda, muchacho? Ahí viene este miro. King with the Black Sican and Negrito de Los Angelitos, and you're checking out that Roadium Radio with Tony A, the Wizard.
Yo, raza, this is Wicked from the Brown Side here on Roadium Radio with Tony A, the Wizard. You know.
Check 1 2 1 2. This is Roger Live, and you are in tune to the sounds of Tony A, the Wizard on Roadium Radio, West Coast.
Yo, what's up? This is John motherfucking Elkins, and you're tuned into Roadium Radio with my homeboy DJ Tony A, the Wizard.
What up, West Coast and all hip-hop fans? This is your girl, Violet Brown, and I'm here with Tony A, the Wizard. And if you're rolling with us right now, that means that you love West Coast hip-hop. And if you want to know the real deal from the real players, the real people behind the scenes, you better pick up Tony's new film, Roadium MIXTAPE DOCUMIXERY. You get it by going to DOCUMIXERY.com. You better get this. And I want to do a special shout out and a rest in peace to my man Steve YANO. I'm out.
John motherfucking Elkins on the beat, y'all.
Welcome to Roadium Radio, and I am your host, Tony A, the Wizard. We started a GoFundMe page because we need you to help us meet our goal. And our goal is to release a Chicano rap documentary, and we need you to be a part of this. Everyone who contributes will have certain incentives offered to them. For an example, I'll name one. Your name will be on the credits of the film. Everyone who gives, everyone who contributes, their name will be on the credits. That's just one thing that we have to offer. But yet, if you read the description, you see other incentives for your contribution. If you've seen the Roadium Mixtape DocuMixery, you will not be disappointed with this documentary, shining light on Chicano rap, the Chicano culture. It is something that can be used as an educational tool now and in the future. So once again, help us meet our goals so that we can start production. And remember this, we have a voice and we will be heard. And welcome back, everybody, to Roadium Radio, episode 55. And somebody called me Tony A. the Lizard. So Tony A. the Lizard is sitting here with the Grandmaster.
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, I got it right. See, I'm better at saying the Grandmaster than TMG.
Oh, yeah. Either way.
So, but I was only testing you. See if you were listening. And you passed. So now, you record. You loaded up on what again, you said?
So when I first started, so I would record it off my iPod Touch, like one of the first ones that had came out, and load it up on SoundCloud.
Okay, now when you started showing people like your homies or whatever, what was the response?
Everybody was surprised at first because a lot of people didn't know like I was into rap like that. I was in high school. I kept to myself a lot. I was very just antisocial in a way. Like I was always just, like I'm cool. Like, and not that I was like afraid of people or nothing, but I would just rather just kick it. You know what I'm saying? Just not really be around a group of people, maybe like 2 or 3 people here and then, like some friends and stuff. But most of the time, everybody knew me to be a little bit quiet. You know what I mean? So, coming into rap and showing my raps off, I remember the first person I showed was a friend that I had gone to church with. Because, of course, being from a religious background, being young, my mom was like, you got to go to church with me. You got to go to church with me. So there was a friend I had at church. I showed him. I was like, hey, check this out. I made this for some girl, blah, 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 blah. I don't know how I hadn't sent it to her yet. I was like, I made this for some girl. I want to see your take on it, your opinion on it. I don't know. Like, you listen to it, you let me know. And he was like, what is it?
Now, did this girl even know you existed?
Yeah.
Oh,
okay. Yeah. We were talking, but it was like, I don't know. I remember what I made it for, but I think I just made it just to make it. Like, I wanted to be romantic. Like, I wanted to be like,
That's good. Girls like romance.
Yeah.
See, today, guys that are romantic, they don't buy girls flowers anymore. You know what to say? Send me a pic. That's what that is now.
No, I feel it. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, yeah. So, so I showed him the song. He listened to it. I remember his first response was like, that was you? I was like, yeah, that's me. You know what I'm saying? That was my first. I think, and I remember what beat it was too. It was the Where's the Love by the Black Eyed Peas. That was the first beat I ever recorded first beat I ever recorded on. And he was like, that was you? I was like, yeah, that was me. And he was like, yeah, it was pretty good. Like, I didn't know you were able to rap like that, or you were able to do that. That's crazy. Like, and then I remember he was like at first, I guess it didn't really hit him that much. And then I think it was like maybe a couple days later, he came to me. He's like, hey, bro, let me hear that song again. He's like, let me hear it again. That's why I played it for him. And he's like, bro, this shit is so dope. Like, I didn't know that you could do that. Like, that's so tight. And I was like, fuck it. And I ended up sending it to her. I remember I sent her the song, and she was tripping because she didn't.
Now, when you say sent it to her,
right?
How?
I don't remember. I think it was. I don't remember how I did it. I think I sent it to her on an email. I think
MySpace, maybe.
No, I think this was already when Facebook had came in.
Okay.
I think I was talking to her on Facebook. I'm not sure.
You didn't do a video for it, right?
No, okay. It was just, I sent her the audio. I remember I sent her the audio. There was like an option to send, email it to her. And I think I emailed it to her. And then I emailed her. She got it. She listened to it. She got back to me almost right away. And she was like, oh my God, this song is so tight. Like, this song is dope. It's good. Like, that's crazy. Oh, all that, sappy stuff or whatever. But, yeah, she liked it. And from then I kind of was like, okay, that was it. Like, that's it. That's where I was going to draw the line. I was like, all right, that's it. I'm done. Like, this is cool. That was my career.
Like, that's, wait. Did you end up taking her to the prom? Did she become your girl?
No, yeah, she became my girl. She did. She was for I think we were together for a couple months. Yeah, stuff like that.
That's it?
Yeah, that was it.
I thought it would be happily ever after.
Nah, bro, I was young, man.
I bought her some bonbons. We went to the movies.
No, we did go out a couple of times. I took her out on a couple of days, whatever. We went out.
So what's next for Infinite?
As far as just my music right now,
no. From there,
okay. Like I said, still at that point, I didn't feel like I was gonna be this person, like this rapper person. Like I was like, okay, I feel like I got lucky with it. I was like, okay, it was done, it was good, people liked it, and I was like, all right, whatever. I showed it to my friend, I showed it to another friend, they liked it, it was cool. But then as I kept going to school, people were like, yo, when are you gonna drop another one? When are you gonna drop another one? Like that was tight. Like, are you gonna put that out on a? And this is when SoundCloud had really started popping up, and people were like putting stuff on SoundCloud, and I was to even put my music on the internet was a trip to me. I was like, what? You could do that? Like, I didn't, like, that was like insane to me.
Huh?
Yeah, I was like, yo, like, he's like, yeah, you don't have to pay. I was like, how much you got to pay? They were like, no, you don't have to pay nothing. Just put it on SoundCloud. I'm like, what the hell is SoundCloud? I don't know what that is. And people were just like, yeah, just put it on SoundCloud. You don't got to pay nothing. And you just put it up and you can share it with people. I'm like, the fuck? Like, how did I? So I was tripping. I was just like, okay, like, cool, all right. So I remember I didn't put that one on there. I think I recorded another one because people were asking me. They were like, yo, when are you gonna make another song, or when are you gonna rap? He's like, and then people would actually send me suggestions too. They'd be like, oh, yo, rap on this beat, or rap on this instrumental from like 50 Cent, or from like the Dr. Dre, or from Eminem, whatever. And they would just send me stuff, and I'm just like, all right, cool, I'll do it. And so I remember after I made the second one, after that I was on a roll. I just kept doing it. After that, it just became like a repetitive thing. Like I wrote one song, I forgot what was the second one. I think it was like To a Get Rich or Die Trying beat. I forgot which one it was. I think it was the Life's on the Line. I did a remix to that, and then after that it was just constant.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna put you on the spot real quick. Okay. I know you're half Guatemalan,
yeah,
and half Salvadorian,
right?
Okay. ¿Hablas español?
I can. It just sounds whitewashed sometimes.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I understand it completely, but it was just very hard for me to speak, because when I came to Cali, I didn't know not one bit of Spanish.
Okay.
At all. My mom always spoke to me in English. She spoke to me in Spanish sometimes, but it was never frequent when I was younger. I didn't learn it until I moved here.
Now, the reason why I asked is because I wanted to know if you ever did anything in Spanish.
Like music?
Yeah.
No, not until recently. I think recently I just did a song called Sueños, and that was like my first song. I didn't even do the full song in Spanish. It was just the hook.
Now, Sueños meaning dreams.
Dreams, yeah.
Okay, and what are you talking about? I know we're jumping a little bit ahead, but what are you talking about on that one?
On that song, it just kind of it talks about a lot of the dreams I've had that sometimes I feel like they're so far away. Like a lot of times I feel like, because, like, you know, being from a religious background and having to do hip hop, I feel like it's always, I'm stuck between both worlds. It's like I believe in God myself. Like, that in myself, like, I've never doubted my faith in God or anything. I think I'm not heavily into it, how like some people are, but I have my faith in God, and that's okay with me. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So that's what it talks about. It's just having my faith in God, being okay with that, but then also knowing that I have to do what I have to do, like, with my music. You know what
would be dope in that video if you do a video? Sueños, when you're rapping, have Freddy Krueger in the background. Hey, you're dreaming, man.
Yeah, no, I feel it.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
that's dope, man. So now, your friends. What high school did you attend while you were doing this?
I was jumping around. So I went to Poly High School. I didn't jump around a lot.
Now, when you say Poly, you're not talking about Long Beach Poly, right?
No. I'm talking about Poly Riverside, Polytechnic High School out there. Yeah, it's not a huge school, but I went there. But I didn't get kicked out. I stopped going to school in like my sophomore year due to a sickness I had, and I was homeschooled after that.
Really?
Yeah, I was homeschooled after that. I wasn't able to finish. I was supposed to graduate, I think, in like 2013. Didn't graduate in 2013. Ended up graduating in 2014. But I didn't go. For my senior year, I went back to school because I had gotten better and stuff like that. So for my sophomore year and my junior year, it was homeschooled. I was homeschooled for those years. Yeah.
All right. So you were telling me before there's a lot of projects that you had out.
Right.
Start sharing with us, because many times I can tell you pretty much already what you have done, but I want to hear it from you.
Right.
And share with the public, those that are listening, what year you dropped your first project. When I say project, EP, album, mixtape, whatever.
So the first time I dropped, like, my very, very first project was 2013.
Okay, 2013. Who was the producer on that?
It was just honestly a bunch of beats that I bought from like YouTube. Like, people would have the links. People were like, oh yeah, buy this beat here, buy this beat there. So that's what I would do. I would buy that. And there was like maybe, I think like 2 or 3 beats on there that were made by just friends that I had. Like friends that were just like my homies that were making beats at that time. And they were like, yo, just, hop on this, bro, put this out. But at that time, at 2013, I wasn't putting it out on like iTunes and stuff like that. I wasn't doing that. I was actually making CDs. I would go to like this printing place that's by my crib, and I would go print out the covers, because I would make my own album covers. I started learning how to use the Photoshop and stuff like that. And so I remember for the album, I learned how to make it. I went to the printing store, printed out like a gang of like just front and back, the track list in the back, the cover in the front. Go to Target, buy like a gang of like stack of jewel cases and just slide those suckers in and burn a CD. And that's how I was. And then I would go to school and just pass them out. I would pass them out.
So you didn't sell them, you just give them out?
Yeah, I just give them out.
Okay.
That's all.
What was the name of that CD?
It's called Church Stories.
Church Stories, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Self-explanatory.
Right.
So now you pass them out.
Mm-hmm.
What is the response?
It was very back and forth. There was a lot of, because keep in mind something that you don't know. When I was getting into rap, I was younger. When I was younger getting into rap, my mom found out I was getting into rap. She was like, she threw a fuck. Oh my God, I remember it. Oh my God, it was just a whole thing. It was like I like committed the most evil crime in the world. And then, it's fine. I get it. My mom, that's how my mom was and shit. But at the end of the day, she was not happy about it. So I had took it upon myself because my mom has done a lot for me. I don't know. People can say what they want about me. Like, I'm a mama's boy, whatever the hell. I don't care. I care about my mom. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I am. You know what I'm saying?
Are you a mama's boy?
Yeah, I guess so. I think I am. I think for the most part, like, she's done a lot of things. She sacrificed a lot. I mean, why wouldn't I? She's raised me when I didn't really have a father figure around at that time. And she sacrificed, and, so why not? You know what I mean? She gave me everything I need.
Okay. There's 10 of us. 5 brothers, 4 sisters, and I'm kind of like in the middle, okay?
Right.
When my mother had passed away, all my brothers and my sisters all got together, and here's what they told me. You were always mom's favorite. Eras el más diablo. That's what they said to me.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, thanks. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, so
it was kind of the same thing with me, too, because I'm in the middle. I have 2 younger sisters. I have 3 older siblings. And when I was born, my sisters always tell me, like, you were always the favorite. Like, you always got picked over everything. Like, everything was you. It was about you. And I was like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know what I was supposed to do about that. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so like going back to that, it was very hard. My mom just didn't take it well. So at that time when I wrote Church Stories, it was very about my faith in God, because like I said, I do believe in God. I have that strong faith in me still. Like I said, I might not have that strong religious way that my mom and like maybe a lot of elder people do, but I'm strong with my faith. So I wrote about that. That's what I would write about. I would write about my faith and having to have that faith, because around that time in Riverside, there was a lot of bad stuff happening. There was a lot of black versus brown stuff happening. Yeah. There was a lot of people getting shot by where I used to live. It was just very, very hectic. It was very bad. So whenever I went to school, it was always like a situation. Like I always had to look out, like where I was going, who I was talking to, who I was with. And when I wrote about things like that, I wrote about having to go through stuff like that. I wrote about, having to be with people who didn't believe in God, and then having to believe in God, and just having to kind of like, my conflicts between the two, what I'm saying? And when I released it and I sent it out to people, I got mixed responses. I've had, literally, this has really happened. I've had somebody come up to me, the CD that I think I don't know if they grabbed it from somebody, because I didn't give it to them. They grabbed it from somebody, and they heard it with somebody, and they took it from them, and they were like, hold on, I got to go tell this dude something. And they literally went to me, grabbed the CD, snapped it, and threw it at me.
Really?
Yeah, they've done that. I've had that happen.
Did they say why?
They just told me like, yo, they would tell me like, yo, this shit is garbage. Like, this shit is trash. Like, don't ever try to spread no kind of faith, or like they try to act like I was being like maybe like a Jehovah's Witness or something. Like I was trying to go around, knock on doors, and spread the word about Jesus and stuff like that. But it wasn't like that. I was just telling my story. I was just telling the things that I went through, the things that I feel. Like I never try to force nothing on nobody. Even to this day, like, you do what you do, and that's fine. That's your lane. Stay in your lane. Do what you got to do. But at the end of the day, this is how I feel about certain things. That's just me. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna force nobody or to be or believe in something that I believe in, because at the end of the day, somebody else is gonna believe something else, whatever they want to believe. You know what I'm saying? So,
okay, I'm gonna touch on something. I usually don't touch on this. Okay, but I'm gonna say something that I notice that people can talk about Allah They could talk about being a Muslim. They could even talk about being a Jehovah's Witness. They could even talk about being a Mormon.
Right.
They could talk about all kinds of stuff. But the moment I've noticed that you mentioned Jesus, it just pisses a lot of people off for some reason.
It really does.
It really, really does, you know. Now, I want to say this. Sometimes you can kind of see like who would really, because I've seen people that have gotten really, really uncomfortable whenever I've talked on the topic of religion.
Right.
Whether it's on the street, whether I'm having coffee or whatever. I like it because I read the scriptures, you know. I love history, so I read the Bible because I love history.
Right.
You know, and whenever I start talking about what Jesus said this, people like squirm in their damn seats, man. You know?
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's probably somebody squirming right now, but
right, yeah.
Let's move along. So Church Stories comes out. How soon did you drop your next one?
A year.
Okay, a year. Now, why a year?
I was still perfecting myself. I was still perfecting my craft. I still had a lot to learn. At this time in 2013, I was mixing and mastering and recording my own stuff. So it was very hard. So since the first one did, and I think because the first one did a lot bad, like when I even trust me, when you're new into rap and you have like artists, no matter what they say to you, we're sensitive as shit. I don't care who says what. I don't give a fuck who acts hard as fuck or who's the hardest in the street. I don't give a fuck. You're sensitive. You're a sensitive ass dude because you care about your craft, you care about your music. So me being a person who's sensitive about my music, when that happened to me, that fucked me up. That made me feel like I should not be doing this right now. And so for that whole year, I was pondering on like, yo, should I even keep doing this? Like, should I even keep rapping? Should I even... It's you know, the first stages, I'm like going through in my head, debating like, should I do it? Should I not? Should I do it? So I was like, you know what? I'm going to just write about it. So I wrote about it. And then in that span of the year, I released, in the next year, 2014, I released another album called Roads Traveled.
Roads.
Okay, Roads Traveled. Yeah. Okay, I thought it was Roaches. Put that out. That one had a much better response.
Really?
Much better response. It had people were starting to listen to it. I did the same thing. I made CDs. I went to the printing place, copied did the whole shebang again. I was like, all right, let's try this again. I gotta redeem myself. Went out, passed it to a couple people, passed it to a couple homies. They passed it to their homies. There was a couple people who used to work at barbershops that I knew, passed it to them. And people were like, who is this dude? Like, who is this cat? Where is he from? Oh, he's from Riverside. Like, what? Like, I never heard of Infinite TGM. Like, who the hell is this? You know what I'm saying? And it just kind of like started buzzing around from there. I had like some people who were like already rapping in Riverside hit me up like, yo, this is dope. Like, this is tight. This is cool. Like I fuck with this. And then, and then after that, it was just me kind of just constantly working on myself, on my music, on trying to build myself as an artist and trying to learn how to, because as you got to keep in mind too, as all this is going on, the style of hip hop is changing drastically. Right. You had the entrance of the Migos, you had the trap stuff, you had the Chief Keefs, the Waka Flockas, all this crazy style of genre of hip hop that people are so into. And at that time, I was not rapping like that. Right. I couldn't adapt to this style because it was I was like, yo, it's either boom bap or I'm not on it. It's either 90s hip hop or I'm not on it. It's either old school West Coast hip hop or I'm not on it. And that's how I felt at the time. And because but I feel like now looking at how I felt about that now, it was very naive. I feel like I was being very closed-minded. I feel like I was closing myself off to an opportunity to learn how to do something different, to see if I can even do it. And without even trying, I was just like, no, fuck that. I'm not doing that shit. That's not for me. I'm not going to do it, because I felt like if I did transition into doing stuff like that, people would lose respect for me. And in a lot of cases, that's what kind of happened as time progressed, because I did change. I did change a lot of my style. If you hear a song of mine from like 2011, 2012, and you listen to a song that I did today, two entirely different people.
Okay. Yeah, well, you've grown.
Right. So it's like it's just very, the sound, the style, the way I rap, it was just very different. And so it got to a point where I said I stopped making music for how I like for other people. Like I was like so focused on like, who's gonna like this? Who's gonna like give me shit for this? Or who's gonna who's gonna degrade me because I said this or said this line or said that. I got to a point where I didn't give a shit anymore. I said,
don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah, I said, you know what? I'm not gonna continue to lower myself because I feel like other people want me to make this kind of music only. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna share something really quick. When we did this documentary, once again, this was our first project. Okay, me and my boys right here, we did our team. Never once did I think I wonder if anybody's gonna like it.
Right.
My attitude, it wasn't in a wrong way of saying fuck them.
Right.
But when I did these mixtapes back then, I never said, man, I hope they like it. That's just my style. If they like it, they like it. And look I did these when I was 1987, okay? I have a bunch of them, but these are just the ones I'm releasing right now. I'm 52 right now, and they're still selling.
Wow.
Okay? And I started this when I was 50, and it's released now. Okay, I'm working on my other one that I'm hoping people would donate so that we can start production. But that's what I want to do. I want to film. But this right here, I've never gotten one negative response.
That's dope.
Not one.
That's dope. Oh, yeah.
Nobody said you guys are not fucking filmmakers. Nobody said shit.
Right.
Okay. But not one negative response. And now people are asking me for hard copies, so I'm doing it. So I'm saying that to say to you is don't care what people say. You do you.
Right.
Because there are fans for everyone, and you have your fans.
Right.
Okay. Now, you dropped the second one. What's next?
After that, I think, I started trying to, it was mainly just the same thing over and over again. I think that's where I kind of messed up. Because it was just never a different move. It was always, okay, after this project, now I got another project I'm dropping. I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this, whatever. So I would drop projects. But at the same time, whenever I did drop these projects, people liked them. People started liking them more and more as I went along. So after that, I think I dropped like maybe 4 or 5 more.
Okay.
And I just, from there, that's when I started saying, okay, I got to start putting out some videos now. I need some music. I didn't really do a lot of music videos. It was just hard. Budget wasn't right. And then... Also, keep in mind too, like I was homeschooled, I was sick, I was bedridden for 3 years.
Damn.
For 3 years, I wasn't able to walk. I was in a wheelchair. It was like I'm really don't want to get into all the details right here, but it was just a bad situation where I got sick. I was always on. A nurse was always coming to the house to check on me. I was always on. I was always in and out of the hospital, in and out of surgery, in and out of this, in and out of that. So for those 3 years, I stopped doing music.
Okay.
Because I was like, I can't, I could barely stand. I had like things attached to me at home. It was just a whole crazy thing. So for that span of time, I stopped, and set me back a lot because people kind of forgot. Like they're just like,
That is true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I took almost like 10, 11 year break, and people forgot.
Right.
You can't do that in this industry. So the last couple of minutes, and I'm sorry to cut you right there.
No, you're good.
I want you to talk about what you have now. Where I know your Instagram's been popping up. What can people expect from you now? What have you dropped? I know your video, I posted it up on my YouTube story. I put the link there where people can go check you out. A lot of great responses. Nobody said anything negative. Everybody just said this guy can spit.
Right.
Okay. So now, what can people expect from you? Are you collabing with anybody? Are you just releasing your own shit?
Right now, so I got a couple. I actually got a couple projects in the works right now. I got a collab project with a dude that's from Banning. His name's Telemate. He goes on Instagram as Fedia Boy. Dude's a freaking insane artist, insane MCs. His bars are just crazy. So I'm working on a dual EP with him. I got another project. So I just dropped a project during this whole quarantine thing and whatever. I dropped a project called Pandemic, and that whole Pandemic album was recorded in maybe like the span of like 4 or 5 days.
Really?
Yes, I recorded, mixed and mastered, wrote, and put everything out on Spotify and on iTunes and stuff like that. So I released that one. Only had one feature. It was my boy Jamal Jones. Shout out to him, another dude from Riverside. And then now I'm working on Pandemic 2, and Pandemic 2 is gonna I have nothing but features on that one. It's I got features with Cujo. I got a feature with my boy Any Means. I got a feature this young cat. His name's Young Gritty. Bunch of cats, bunch of dudes. I've been trying to work on like, you know, collabing with other people, because usually I'm just by myself, solo dolo. I'm just releasing my own stuff. But I wanted to change it up. I wanted to, you know, be able to collab with more people, do more things with other people, network, and, you know, collab with other artists. So for right now, that's what you can expect. I got that EP dropping with my boy Tellermade, which is called Self-Made. I got Pandemic 2 dropping shortly after. And I know it's like very bunched up together, but like I said, my work ethic now, I'm always moving. If I have to make this album, I'll make it. Boom, I'm on to the next thing. Because in this industry, I feel that when you slow down for a second, if you even take a second to blink, it's just it swipes past you. That's it. A lot of opportunities.
See, that is hard for me to understand because, again, I'm more old school. When we would drop an album, we made sure we rolled that fucking album for at least a whole year. We dropped a single because the business was different then. Today is totally different, because I remember my boys in New York, he would drop a mixtape, and I go, how long would you ride that mixtape for before you drop the next one? And then he goes, oh, about a week.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe it. I was like,
a lot of the cases too is that something that we all have to understand is that everybody and their mom is trying to rap right now. Everybody. You ask anybody what they want to do, what they do. I want to be a rapper. I want to be a rapper. So in an industry where before it was like you barely saw that. You barely saw people that want to rap. Like not everybody wanted to be Migos or be this or be that. You know what I mean? Nobody wanted to do that. People just love music. Now it's everybody wants to rap. There's millions of people on Instagram, on SoundCloud, on SoundClick, or whatever the hell the case may be, just rapping. And so because of that, the game has become much harder to be heard. It's gotten a lot harder for the real artists and for the real talented people to get out there, because now it's like people think like, oh, I can just make this and it's dope. I could just make this, whatever sounds okay, whatever, and then it'd be dope, because people have blown up of stuff like that. So because of that simple fact, in my head, in my worker brain, I'm like, I cannot slow down, because the second I slow down, there's somebody else that's not me, that's younger than me, that's, you know, less tired, that's more active, that is working while I'm taking a break. And if I for a second just say, okay, I'm gonna just be cool, that guy is coming up right behind me as soon as I stop, and he's coming past me, and then as soon as I know it, he's like on XXL, or he's on MTV, or he's on this, or he's on that. Wow. So that's how I have to look at it, because if I slow down a little bit, it's like, dude, like, you got it. That's why I encourage a lot of my friends, a lot of people, because like I said, all of my friends rap. All of my friends. I have nothing but rapper friends. And
now I'm gonna put you on the spot. Are they any good?
Yeah. These dudes.
All of them.
Not all of them. I'm gonna be real. I'll be real. Not all of them. Some need work. Some dudes need work. And
because I know they're probably watching.
They can ask me about it later. they'll fuck with me. But no, yeah, there's a lot. And I've told them. I'm always straight up and honest with people. Like if somebody sends me something and they're like, yo, check this out. How does it sound? And if it needs work, I'm like, it needs work. You need to do this. You're not ready for this kind of thing yet. You need to build yourself up. Not that I'm this big person to say what you need or not need to do, but I know my way around my craft to know what you're trying to sound like or what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's never in a disrespectful manner. It's just like, yo, okay, if it's not there, it's not there. And there's, for a lot of people, it's not there, but they're still doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so Pandemic 2 will be out. We can expect it this year?
Yeah, so by the end of the month, next month.
Okay, by the end of the month, next month, his Instagram should be coming up. Now, let people know, here's where you give you pretty much your shout outs on me. So let people know where they can find you, where your Instagram's coming up. Are you on YouTube? You got a YouTube?
Yes, I got a YouTube. Okay, so I'm on Infinite TGM. That's Infinite TGM on everything. You can find me. You can Google it. You find me. You can find me on YouTube, Infinite TGM, Apple Music, Spotify, Infinite TGM. Shout out to my boy Cujo, because Cujo, just meeting him, he was like, yo, you want to do this radio interview? I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm down. He's like, but you got to be there. I'm like, I'm there. I don't care. I don't care how far I got to drive. I'm there. He's like, all right, cool. And, so shout out to him. I'm very grateful. Very cool dude. Very humble. Shout out to all my boys in the IE. You know what I'm saying? Riverside, from Corona. It's all that. You know what I'm saying? You guys know who it is. Reform, No Limit Kings, all that. Those are my boys. And yeah, so everywhere is just Infinite TGM. So you can find me on just everything on Infinite TGM.
Okay. I'm going to ask you a question.
Yep.
Have you ever heard of Wicked Babydoll?
Yeah.
She's here.
Yeah, I know. She's
up next to bat.
She's dope.
So, okay, everybody. Once again, we're going to take a 10-minute break, maybe shorter, because I'm dying to get her on here because I got some good questions for her. So make sure you call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody, and let them know that Infinite, the Grand Master,
there we go,
is in the building.
There we go.
And up next, Wicked Babydoll. All right, Babydoll, take us away. You'll call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody. Let them know that Roadium Radio is live up in this biatch.
Roadium mixtape to me was something that was made just for the Roadium. You wouldn't hear it anywhere else. And they would do raps on those tapes that were nowhere else. You know what I'm saying? And they were truly the first mixtapes that we ever heard, you know? And they would shout the Roadium out, and you could kind of tell it was like someone's garage, maybe. The little echo, you know what I mean? It wasn't completely perfect and polished yet, but that was the beauty of it, that it was so raw that we could feel that shit. And I would just play them shits and draw. That was my inspiration, my motivation to draw. So I always had to have some type of music, you know? If it wasn't the Dynamic Superiors or the Temprees or some funk playing, it was, you know, second to none. It was quick. It was the Penthouse Players, you know, High C. And Tony G was at that time was like a god too. You know what I'm saying? He was out there DJing Latin freestyle parties, and all the girls had their hairspray like a lion and shit, and hickeys on their neck, and man, pushing strollers, and we'd be like, ooh, look at, you know, these parties at La Casa and shit, you know what I'm saying, in downtown, and mini trucks, and beds were folded in the air like transformers and shit in the boulevard, coming up and changing and flipping, and subwoofers beating before the person even hit the corner. You get goosebumps, like, damn, and Elko would bend the corner on Dayton's, and you were like, ooh, that fool's strapped right there. That fool gotta be strapped. Motherfucker had candy ribbons, little Willie ribbons from Compton on the side of his shit. Jerry curl dripping all over his shit. Bent over to the side, bumping that fucking Roadium shit. And he had a tape that only came from right there. And if you didn't know about that place, or you didn't live in that area, you didn't have that shit. So that's kind of one up that the Harbor area had on a lot of other people. Compton was next door, but that Harbor area was ended in Gardena. You know what I'm saying? So, man, those were great times, man.
A Roadium mixtape is like a kilo of cocaine. It's like a kilo of amigo powder. You get that shit, you cut that motherfucker open, and you put it in your motherfucking CD player, and you start listening, and you be like, that's dope, shit, this is dope. How you do that? But really, a Roadium mixtape, bro, if you haven't experienced it and you was in hip hop back then, I don't know what the hell you was doing. You done fucked up. A Roadium mixtape is like, it's a kilo of cocaine. Music wise, I'm saying, motherfucker.
Man, that's a little tough, but I'll tell you what, it was the best thing ever for me, man. It was just kind of like something you never heard about. And especially West Coast was not getting that shine at the time, you know? So you would go to this place and they would make a custom tape, like, you know? And not knowing what it was just the sound that came out of those tapes that, if I'm correct, you'd have to, like, I would be fiending for those things if it was monthly, if not sometimes bi-monthly, but a tape, it was just a mixture of the latest songs all mixed together. But the intro had like this crazy mix that I at the time I believe that it was like 4 turntables at the same time, but I was like, how the hell are they doing this? Like, was it Superman behind the turntables or something like that? But a mixtape was a real mixtape. It was actually a cassette too, you know, just for the record.
Hey Tony, drop that. What bass? I bet. My name is the Croft, the C-R-A-W-F-O-R-D, the poet high C. Tony A. the Wizard, just as cool as a visit. Sticking out his tongue, stabbing pussy like a lizard. Ooh, so sorry, homie, I didn't mean to say that. Steve is in the house. Come on, won't you play that funky dope beat? You know you gotta throw me some Stanley ass Croft coming straight from the Roadium.
You are now about to witness
Tony A. Get funky. Tell her where you from. You don't think I'm living, well, fuck you. Cool on a Saturday night in LA. Yo, feeling kinda fancy. Stop what you're doing, cause I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to. What the hell are you looking for? Can a young man make money anymore? Wear my jeans and like freaking on the floor? Or is it my job to make sure I'm poor? Disruption, disorder, will nourish, not justify. Those that live at the FBI, look at mama's baby. Ice Cube getting dumb at the Roadium with the funky drum, and you know my man Steve can get some. With a fool like Tony A when he plays stupid dope shit by WA. You wanna spray? Dumb motherfuckers, no doubt. And sucker DJ, get the fuck out. Tony A.
What did you say your name was? What did you say?
Tony A. I have won 1 million battles.
Lights, cameras, action, sound. Give me that mic, I'm about to go down.
Thinking of a master plan.
This story's funny. I met this girl and she had money.
Welcome back, everybody, to Roadium Radio episode 55, and I want to encourage you guys to go ahead and buy me out. I already sold more than half of them, and we started selling them on Wednesday. Once again, go to the donate, and if you would like to contribute to the Chicano rap documentary that we're going to start, hopefully, if we meet the budget from Wednesday to today, Sunday. We reached over $4,000. So I want to thank everybody for contributing. And you can go to the website, DOCUMIXERY.com, and you can look at the incentives that you would get for donating. Other than that, the Roadium Mixtape DOCUMIXERY, once again, you guys are in quarantine. We'll give you guys a quarantine coupon, TRMD20 to get 20% off unlimited streaming. Other than that, I think I had one more. But you know what? We'll come back to that. Without further ado, please allow me to introduce Wicked Babydoll. How you doing?
What up, Tony? How are you?
Oh, I'm good. You know what? How was the drive coming over here?
It was a bit of a mission, but we were able to go visit my in-laws and chill for a minute, and then we came over here. It wasn't too far. It wasn't so bad.
That'll work. Now, you know what? Today I was watching Netflix, and I want to recommend something, not only to Infinite, but also to you. There was one, I like watching a lot of movies, I like watching a lot of documentaries. So there was one on a guy named Sam Cooke. I know it was before your time, actually even before my time. And great story. Grew up in the church, singing in the church, and he wanted to make hit records. He wanted to sing. But his family thought it was the music of the devil. It's la música del diablo. And he went on and became a great star, hit after hit, but he ended up getting murdered here in LA.
Wow.
So whenever you get a chance, and everybody looking, usually I recommend good stories. Sam Cooke's story on Netflix. I think you'll enjoy it. Have you seen any good movies, lady?
No, not really.
No?
I'm not very big on watching anything. I'm more of a gamer. I'll sit there and game all day.
Okay.
But watching something, I'm horrible at it.
Okay, now game. Xbox, PlayStation.
PlayStation.
Okay, good. So that we could stay friends. I'm not an Xbox guy. Xbox and PlayStation is kind of like Star Wars and Star Trek. We just don't get along. I'm a Star Wars guy. Okay. Now, kick around a couple of games that you're good at.
Call of Duty is the one I'm on right now.
Okay.
I usually own all of them, so I have all of them. The one I'm playing right now is the latest one, obviously.
Now, are you any good, or you just gonna say you're good?
I'm good sometimes. It depends if, the day is right. But sometimes I suck really, really bad, and I'm just like, you know what, I need to get my ass off this TV because I'm mad. But yeah, it's just another distraction.
Okay. How long you been playing video games since you were a little girl?
Oh yeah, always.
For
I
real?
remember having a fucking Atari and all that shit. So yeah, I've played for a long time.
That's dope. Like me, like now when I play, I just play one game, and that's Madden. I like football. That's all I play. When I was on like Nintendo 64 and all that stuff, I used to play all the James Bond, all the war movies. I played all kinds of fucking games, but I said I just want to be good at one, so I played Madden. So you a night owl? Do you stay up late?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Usually not to game though. It's usually to catch up on work or whatever I have to do for the next day.
All right. And now as far as games, do you play a lot of people everywhere online?
Yeah, I do online.
Okay. You want to give away your online name?
At MCWBB.
Okay. Okay, that'll work. So if you guys want to hit her up on there, blow her up, assassinate her, take her out.
Please don't.
So now, you know what? The reason why I asked about movies, because ever since I was a little kid, you know, well, a lot of people don't know that me and my brother actually owned a video store in the 80s.
Wow.
So sometimes when I tell people, you watched any movies, do you got a VHS? Do you got, and I forget that, like, I'm dealing with the younger generation, you know, that, because I still have videos.
I know, we do too.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we still even have a VHS player. We have to have it. I think I still own all the Disney movies from when I was younger, and my kids have them, so.
What's your favorite Disney movie?
Oh, The Lion King.
You know what? I was gonna guess that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna guess that. Okay, mine was the Tiger King. No, I'm only playing. No, actually, mine was Joseph. I guess it was Dream something. It was by Disney, and it was a story from the Bible, and I think it was Prince of Dreams, Joseph or something. It's a cartoon. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's a Disney movie.
I don't think I have.
I'll look it up at break, and then I'll bring it up to you. But that was probably my favorite Disney, and then I would probably have to say Aladdin.
Yeah, Aladdin was pretty.
I like Aladdin. Did you like the new movie?
I honestly am not a fan of the live action.
Yeah, me neither. But I thought it was okay. I did see Beauty and the Beast, and I thought that one was good.
I haven't watched it.
Okay, when you get a chance, that's probably about the only one that I would recommend. I thought that one was pretty good. So now,
check it out.
Where are you originally from? Like, where did you grow up at?
I grew up in Glassell Park, Northeast LA.
Northeast LA. Wait, and you said Glassell Park?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that, and I always lived there.
It's in the middle of Lincoln Park and Highland Park and all those little cities.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll work. And if I'm correct, Salvadorian, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Salvadorian American.
And you love pupusas?
I do.
Do you know how to make them?
I do.
Are you good?
I am not. I will say that. Nobody cooks like my mama.
Of course.
So I can't top her. The day that I can top her cooking, then yeah, I'll say I'm good. But
that'll work. So now, growing up with your parents, what type of music would you say you were raised with that they would play at home when you were a young girl?
Well, I was raised by my grandparents. So my grandpa was a DJ, and he would play anything from ABBA to Queen to Creedence, you know, like I'm talking about everything on the map, Michael Jackson, everything. So I grew up dancing. I grew up watching him play all kinds of stuff on vinyl. I still remember when he played Back to the Hotel on vinyl, on his techniques. And he just introduced me to music, like all types of music. And I still to this day bump everything.
You know what? First of all, let me give a shout out to your grandpa because he rocks. Okay, because I'm a grandpa today. I have 3 grandbabies, and I want to teach them, you know, things that I've learned. So even if they don't want to be a DJ, producer, or whatever, at least they learn something because I think it's important. You know, I tell my kids that are older now that one day when I'm old and I'm walking around with a cane, you know what I want to do when I retire? You probably don't care, but I'm going to say it. I want to work either at a library or at a museum. That's what I want to do.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I believe it's important to teach the next generation.
Yeah.
So once again, much love, much faith to your grandpa. So, yes. And so you dance, you listen to all of that stuff. So all kind of variety of music then.
Yes, I'm listening to everything. I mean, since I was a little girl.
Okay.
I grew up being a skater. I used to skate a lot.
Okay, now when you say skater, rollerblades or?
No, like a skateboard. Like I used to skate a lot. And I just grew up on that tip and like literally Vans and oversized t-shirts and being a desmadrosa all my life, but that's just how I grew up.
Wow. So is that where the wicked comes in? Desmadrosa?
Yes, in a sense, but I think wicked's more of what I can do with my mouth type of thing. You know, anything that I say usually comes true, and I gotta just bite my tongue sometimes because, I get called the witch a lot. So
La Bruja.
Yeah. So.
Okay. And we'll get into that later. But now, growing up, what schools did you end up attending in your neighborhood?
So I think I left when I was in junior high. I did my 9th grade year at Franklin, but I left and we were moving around a lot, and I would have to actually travel from where we were living at the time. We were living in Tahunga. So I would have to travel through the bus and just to get to school. And then I did a lot of my high school up in Lancaster.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You play any sports at all?
You know, my dad always tried to get me into soccer, and that was like the sport we were around, and I would try to play it, but it was just not my thing. I've always been like physical, you know, PE, everything. I would always like be active, but just, I don't know, it was just not my thing. But I did try to play for a period of time, and I think that was maybe like my 10th grade year.
Okay. Any instruments growing up you played?
No, I wish I would have paid more attention in my music classes, because now I wish I was playing the piano or the guitar, or, you know, something crazy. I try to do that with my son. You know, I try to get him to learn everything I didn't learn. He probably hates me for it, but I mean, he loves music too, so all my kids do.
How many kids do you have?
I have 4 kids.
4 kids? Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And if they're watching, hello everybody. So now, here's the 2 questions that go back to back. Were you good in school?
No. I was never that, like, you know, bookworm. For as much as I wanted to, I was too busy getting in trouble with her. And she knows. With her.
She threw you under the bus. Wow.
That's my best friend. I've actually known her since the 3rd grade, so it's been a long time.
That's dope. Now, did you ever get into any fights with boys?
I don't think so. I don't think I was that crazy. I always knew my place, and I did not want to get socked in the face. But I will say, fighting back, yes, I will always, be a fighter. But not that I initiated like a altercation or anything, I don't think.
Okay. Do you still skateboard?
I try, but I'd break my ass now.
Really?
There's no way.
Okay.
Because I have injuries, so it's really hard for me to even be standing up for too long, so that wouldn't work.
Okay. Okay. Now, let me ask you this. Growing up and when you first started listening to hip hop, was it through your grandfather?
Yes. He's a very big Tupac fan. Okay. Like, again, with the vinyls and playing Tupac on vinyl, that to me is like history. Like, I got to witness my grandfather do this. So that was like his introduction for me. And it was, that was like our bonding time. So I would like do anything to have that time with him, like I would do all my chores and everything just to be able to like be there with him when he's just in his zone. And I'm telling you, he just introduced me to so many things. KRS, I'm talking about, he even has Wu-Tang, the Wu-Tang and Fuck With. He has the whole 36 chambers. He has it on vinyl, like originally from back in the day. And that's,
that's dope.
That was the culture that he wanted me to be on,
One thing I hope I'm good at, I started selling records when I was 11 years old. So hopefully when my grandbabies ever decide to get into the music and they want to ask me questions and I'm still here, I can pretty much answer everything.
Yeah, you can guide them for sure.
Yes. So
guide them. They won't have to go through all the loops that we all have to go through.
Right. I'll be Google.
Yep.
So is it Grandpa? Because I want them to call me Grandpa. I don't care if I don't want the Papa stuff. I want Grandpa or Abuelito. That's what I
cute.
like. So now, around what age would you say you started to write? You figured, you know what? Or who do you think it was? I know you mentioned Tupac, and I know you mentioned KRS-One, Wu-Tang. Was there anyone that stood out that you felt like, okay, that's my shit right there? That's the guy that inspired me or encouraged me? Maybe it wasn't one of them. Maybe it was a friend to encourage you to start writing.
So I started writing when I was 16.
Okay.
And I've never had my mom in my life like that. I've never met my father. I've been pretty much raised by my tia and my grandparents, and that's just been my life. And so that I took that as I needed to do that to kind of survive and breathe and an outlet to get all my anger out. Obviously, not that didn't only work, but you know, I got into a lot of trouble as a kid, and it just really brought, you know, it always brings me back to what I'm supposed to do. You know, I believe I do have a purpose. You know, when I speak, people are listening, whether they want to, you know, talk shit or be positive about it, they're always listening to what I gotta say. So I feel like in that position, I have to, you know, I have to be that. But I think really what it was, it's just, there's just a lot of things, you know, growing up, your establishment, your surroundings, people you grow up with, all that.
Yeah.
It just brought me back to writing. Everything, you know.
Now, at the time that you were writing, was this considered just poetry, poems, or whatnot, or was this rap, actual rap?
I think this was more of poetry, more of just like a diary type of thing. I remember writing like little stories. I still have like all the composition books like in my garage somewhere. Literally just books and books and books of stuff I've written. And sometimes just like rambling, just weird things that just come to my mind and I gotta write it down. And so I have so many unfinished verses in my computer because I just, you know, I'm in the zone or I'm doing something and I have to write it down. So I have so many things just everywhere. One of these days I have to sit and figure it out. It's too much.
So now you're writing these things, and about I'll say, how long soon after did you start, like, okay, this is the verse, let me find the beat and start rapping to it?
I think it was almost right away.
Really?
I don't think I was sitting there like procrastinating. I think I just wanted to do it so bad, and I did. You know, I released a mixtape, I think it was like 06, 07, and I was releasing a lot of like just single songs, no projects. And then it wasn't until like 2012 I dropped 3 mixtapes in a year.
Okay. We're going to get into that a little bit later, but the reason why I'm asking this is because I wanted to know, did you team up with a producer or were you just rapping off of instrumentals at the time?
I've always rapped on original beats.
Okay. Now, how did you get hooked up with your first producer for him to make you an original beats for you to write to?
So I think what really did it was back in, what was it, like, I want to say like 2008, 2009. I think that's when I met Baby Wicked. And she's the one that got me into the more of the recording. So we were recording a lot of instrumentals. We were recording a lot of projects and a lot of things we started but never were able to finish for whatever reason. So yeah, it was just, you know, all that. It just built it into.
You know, because there were people that thought that you were her.
Yes.
Okay.
They still do. Y'all are dumb. I can't.
Yeah. So okay, now
I can't.
At least for those people, how did you meet her?
I met her through MySpace, and she hit me up. She's like, "Yo, I think you're dope. You know, quiero que vengas." You know, at that time she was living in Long Beach. And she was like, you know, I want you to come to my studio. I want you to meet my friends. Estilo was her producer at that time. For those that don't know, Estilo's part of Big Locote's label. I forgot. Insane Asylum, I want to say. At that time, I'm talking about a decade ago.
Right.
You know, and so Estilo was producing for her, you know, and everything. And I think it was just those couple of songs that caught the attention of a producer in France. And he goes by Tox the Blue Loco, and he raps in French, and it's the most dopest thing ever. But he's the one that just basically supplied me with beats from the get. Like, if it wasn't for him, I don't think Wicked Babydoll would be anything. You know, he just always believed in me, and he always sent me beats, and I would always write to them. And I still have some that I need to use because he recently sent them to me. But with these last 2 projects, I was more of a boom bap style, and it wasn't fitting into the beats that, you know, he made for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, before you met Baby Wicked, what beats were you rapping to again? Were these instrumental beats?
So I did do some instrumentals. I did some that were, I think, from like SoundClick. And then like all of the mixtape ones were like off of YouTube, SoundClick, SoundCloud, all of those, like, you know, just producers. trying to get their names out there, and they would be like, yo, like jump on this and see what you come up with. And a lot of people don't know this. I was like, I had a little label going on. I had all kinds of stuff. I've always been wanting to work with a group of people. I've always believed that, you know, bringing your people up, that's how it should be. And I've always held on to that until just recently. So I've always had things going on, labels, groups, merchandise. You know, I've always had stuff going on that I thought that I could, you know, install in other people to get to that. So.
Okay. And when you first started putting together your first project, you said a mixtape.
Yeah.
Okay. How many songs were on that mixtape?
I believe it was like from 10 to 16 songs,
okay,
if I'm not mistaken.
10 to 16 songs.
Yeah.
And if I'm correct, your first mixtape, This Is Why They Call Me Wicked.
Yeah.
If I'm correct. Okay. And when you first heard yourself, did you like what you were hearing?
I think I was surprised
Okay.
at the voice that came out because, you know, as we're talking right now, my voice doesn't sound like that. You know, I'm not sounding all hard right now, but you know, when I rap and I'm like in the zone, I think somebody else comes out when I'm rapping and when I'm recording, because that voice is not something I have on a regular basis. It's not something that, you know, but I was very, like I said, surprised. And I think I kind of perfected it now to where, you know, there's so many things that I can do with it that'll still sound like me, but not in that aggressive, crazy manner that I was rapping back in the day.
Okay. And now, what did your family think, obviously your grandfather and your tia, when you started rapping? Were they for it, against it? What was their response?
Well, they always thought I would be a dancer.
Okay.
You know, they always thought I would dance. So when my grandfather saw like my following and the love I was getting on the projects and that I was being flown out to other states, just on that, he was impressed. It was an impression that, you know, I don't think he's ever been against anything. The only thing, you know, is he'll always tell me, like, take care of yourself, you know, like, don't do this, don't do that, like, advising me like a father, you know, and I think that's the only thing that's come out of that. I don't think that I've ever heard anything negative. Now, my mother, my biological mother, is a different story. Me and her don't speak, so that tells you a lot.
I was about to ask you, do you guys get along? So,
no.
Okay. Okay.
And my last album actually explains why we had that falling out. I actually have a song I wrote to her, and a lot of people don't know that, but.
Okay. We'll definitely pick it up on the next 30 minutes. But you know what? I wanted to ask you now. You released your first mixtape. Okay. What was the response that you got back? Now, you said you were surprised about yourself, but what was the response that people were giving back to you?
The first thing that I heard from anything was that I was trying to steal Baby Wicked's style.
Okay.
That was the thing that everybody thought that would hurt my feelings, or that was the way to get to me, because they couldn't attack anything else.
Okay.
So they thought that would get to me, and in reality, they didn't know like how close me and her are.
Mm-hmm.
They still don't know how close me and her are, you know. So it's pretty crazy. Like, we're like family, you know.
Why would you think they would say that? Just to piss you off?
Just to piss me off, for sure. Just to be haters. But I mean, I've heard it all.
There was this one guy that pissed me off because he said, "Oh, she's trying to look like her. She's trying to rap like her." And then I think I sent you the profile, and I was like, "This motherfucker right here is pissing me off."
But on a fake Instagram,
yes.
Like not even a real Instagram. Like, at least have the balls to get on your own Instagram and come after me.
He has no balls and probably, well, I'll leave it at that. But anyways, yes. So now the response was, now was it all that? Was it?
It was that. That was like one of the negative comments.
Okay.
Now the people that saw it as a positive, or that thought I was dope. I mean, obviously, I had motherfuckers from France sending me beats.
Right.
And you're talking about the beats that everybody raps on right now with the whole West Coast and the whole, like, I was getting those beats. you know, and I was, you know, blessing these beats, and that was it, you know. And I think that was the biggest hate that all these male rappers had, because it's male rappers that have an issue with me. And I don't think I've ever had an issue with another female. I mean, I have had my issues, but they know better than to come after me. So it's like, why is it always the guys? What is the hate that they have towards me? You know what I mean?
Wow, I'm tripping. You know what? Write it on the comments,
Yeah,
okay?
that-
I want to know.
I want to know too. Please tell
Like,
me.
okay, see, look, okay. I've always thought that guys hate on guys, girls hate on girls. But with you, it's the total opposite.
No, it's the total opposite.
That's why I kind of asked the Trevor Throw Belozo to do, because I think you ought to sock some motherfuckers
I
up.
would.
You know?
I definitely would.
Wow, that's
But,
fucking
you know,
crazy. Bunch of lame ass fools
Yeah.
talking to a lady right here.
Yep.
Fuck her. You sound like, really? Like, I'm trying to comprehend that shit.
I've
But
heard everything. I've heard it all from, and then they're all dudes. Like, they're not females.
I remember one time, I think I spoke to you. You said, yeah, one guy said he even wanted to fucking kill me or put a bullet in my, like.
Yeah, he's like, I want to fucking kill you. And I'm like, okay, come for it. I post where I'm at all the time. You do that.
Wow.
You do that. So it's like,
If he's listening, you want to tell him anything?
yeah, I'll catch you eventually.
Pretty much. And he's probably, well, I'm not going to describe him. He probably lives at home fucking eating Takis and a Red Bull, playing with his pee-pee on the laptop. Anyways, let me just stop now. I'm sorry. So now, how did you meet this guy from France?
He just hit me up. It was through MySpace.
Okay.
And this was when MySpace was transitioning from the regular profile to, oh, now you can have a music page for yourself.
Yeah,
You're an artist. You're a model, whatever. You can have a separate page. So that's when all that started. And just fast. Everybody started following me. They were like, they wanted to know what was up with me, what I was doing. And it was just like such a quick thing.
Mm-hmm.
And again, with, you know, trying to be negative and stuff. And I was, you know, back in the day, I was part of a group called Good Girls with Baby Wicked. And she was, you know, the one running it. I think it was like 4 of us. And it was like a girl group.
Okay.
But I'm not talking about like no Destiny's Child, like, you know, type of group, but it was just like a girl group that we were trying to rap together. Like, you know, we featured on each other's shit. We had mixtapes, we had CDs, we have all kinds of stuff that we all came together to do. Mm-hmm. And it was dope. You know, everybody put in their weight and everybody did what they needed to do. So I stuck around for a while, and then, you know, I think I just got tired of waiting.
Yeah.
And I got tired of waiting on other people, and I got tired of not knowing what was happening. And at the time, you know, I was in a bad relationship. I was, you know, a young mother. And I was not really paying attention to, I guess, my, what could have become, you know, at that time. And I think I've, you know, backed off a lot from music and everything. But yeah, I got tired of waiting.
Did you ever meet that guy from France in person?
I never did.
Okay.
I never did. And he still, you know, constantly hits me up, and we're always emailing, and he's always like, you know, you still have that beat I sent you, like, you need to get on it. And I didn't have any of my studio stuff because of all of this. I didn't think that I was gonna need anything. I usually just drive to I-6 and lay everything out, you know?
Right.
So with this whole thing, it kind of stopped everything. So I just like Amazon ordered everything to my house. So I would have to drive out. So I barely got it the other day, and I barely started setting everything up. So we're going to be recording now.
Dope. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that when we come back. But there was one thing that I wanted to touch on. You know, it's funny that when we talk about MySpace, we almost talk like if it's like 30, 40 years ago. Like, MySpace just seems like so fucking old.
Yeah, it does.
There was this one guy, funny story. About 2 months ago, I saw him at the gym, and he goes, hey, man, because I've been begging his ass to get on social media. I'm on social media now, hit me. And I go, what are you on? MySpace. Hit me on MySpace. And I was like, I thought he was just kidding. No, but he was serious. I think it's called now Connect.
Oh, wow.
He goes, yeah, just connect.
I still have my profile on there.
Do you still go on it?
I sometimes, like, when it tells me that it's a comment or something, I'll go real quick and check it. But it's still on there.
Do you still post?
Same. It's all I think it's all connected to like my Twitter and like my Instagram. Okay. Like everything's connected, so I won't have to log into so many things. But I don't even know who uses it anymore. Honestly, like everybody's on Instagram right now, or like TikTok, from what I see.
Yeah, I'm not on TikTok or nothing. TikTok. So somebody told me I should make my own. But now, here you have Facebook. Here you have Instagram, TikTok, and here you have Twitter. What do you use the most? What are you most active on?
My Facebook.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I look at Facebook now like if it's MySpace.
Yeah.
You
but
know?
It's surprisingly enough, I have 1.2 million followers on Facebook.
Wow, well, that's good.
Yeah.
Stay on there. So, okay, we're going to go ahead and take a break. I'm going to start drinking, okay? If you want to take a break outside and...
I do.
You know, it's like yerba mala. We'll be back. So, once again, everybody, I got to get this right because you said Baby Wicked, but it's Wicked Babydoll. See, I butchered his name, so I'm sorry. And I haven't even started drinking. Wicked Babydoll, y'all. Get it right. And all you fucking lame-ass dudes talking shit to her, pick on John Elkins, okay? Don't pick on her. He'll handle you guys. Make sure you call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody, break a bottle over somebody's fucking head and let them know that Wicked Babydoll's in the building. We'll be back.
Ice Cube getting dumb at the Roadium with the funky drum, and you know my man Steve can get some. With a fool like Tony A when he plays stupid dope shit by WA. You wanna spray? Dumb motherfuckers, no doubt. And sucker DJ, get the fuck out. Tony A.
What did you say your name? What did you say?
Tony A. I have won 1 million battles.
Lights, cameras, action, sound. Give me that mic, I'm about to go down.
Thinking of a master plan.
This story's funny. I met this girl and she had money.
These right here are the ultimate breaks and beats. These were introduced to the West Coast by Steve YANO. They came from the East Coast to the West Coast, and they were sold only at the Roadium. You can still see the Roadium sticker there. And these are called, once again, the ultimate breaks and beats. If you're a DJ or a producer, you better know what these are. If not, don't call yourself a DJ or a producer. Me and High C right here, we know about these. Back in the day, I would have doubles of everything. Here's a quick story. When Ice Cube left NWA, he came over to my pad, and I was playing some beats for him. Before he left to New York to do his album, America's Most Wanted, he actually asked me if he can borrow a set of my Ultimate Breaks and Beats. I let him borrow it, never saw the dude again, man. I guess that's what he meant by Jacket for Beats. But you know what? Much love to Ice Cube. He helped put not only Compton, South Central, but West Coast on the map. So much love to him. But once again, these are the records that Steve introduced to the West Coast. You don't believe me? Ask Dr. Dre.
Lonzo, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You sure?
Motherfucker, I'm ready, goddamn!
Like it ain't shit, cause I'm a player motherfucker named DJ Quick. It's a full-time jack move. Billy Joe, yo, homie, make the crack move. Freestyle, meanwhile, it keeps the big chicken. Sweat dripping, girlies in the middle when you chill. Walked in the house, got shot. 1, 2, 3. Motherfucker, don't down this shit. This is it, y'all. Grand Daddy. Don't kick your ass.
Cut. We're good?
Just do 1 2 1 2. Right about now, Eazy-E and Dr. Dre's in the motherfucking house.
Times are getting crazy, it's really hard to choose it. The Roadium's a spot to get funky, fresh music. Easy motherfucking E and my homeboy Dr. Dre. MC Ren is in effect, and you know we don't play. The Roadium is hitting, but you know you can't leave until you get a deaf ass tape from Steve. Oh Steve, oh Steve, oh Steve, just give me just one more tape. Oh Steve, oh Steve, oh Steve, just give me just one more tape. Oh Steve, oh Steve, oh Steve, just give me just one more tape. Oh Steve, oh Steve, oh Steve, just give me just one more tape.
Yeah, man, I came all the way down to the Roadium swap meet, man, to pick up one of them NWA tapes, man. And I talked to homeboy Steve down there, man, and he said I'm fresh out of tapes, man. How the fuck you fresh out of tapes, man? He said cause they selling like hotcakes and shit, man. That's my man going down. Hey, mom, what's for dinner?
Welcome back, everybody, to Tony A's Backseat Memory Oldies. You know what? That's my next show. Okay, so Roadium Radio, episode 55. Wicked Babydoll in the motherfucking house. And make sure you buy us out, okay? Only got a few left. DOCUMIXERY, TRMD20, TRMD20, 20% off. And if you want to donate, you can go to our GoFundMe. It's in my bio on my Facebook. It's in my bio on my Instagram. Or it's in the description on the YouTube that you're watching right now. If you want to help and donate and bless us with $1, $2, whatever you want to give to help get this Chicano rap documentary up and going. Now, somebody asked me, if you don't meet the budget, what's going to happen to the documentary? Well, obviously, no budget, no film. Okay. If we don't meet the budget, then everybody gets their money back automatically, as how GoFundMe works. So it's not like I'm gonna be able to keep it and go buy myself some Nike Cortez. But once again, if you give, believe me, you won't be disappointed. If you were not disappointed with this, you will not be disappointed with that. Let me give a shout out to my boy Blasto for blessing us with the mini micheladas. The shit is the bomb. Okay, we're back. How you doing?
Good.
I see you got another beer.
I did.
That's like your third or fourth one, huh?
I don't think I'd be talking to you right now.
Huh.
I'd be asleep.
Or be gaming.
Lightweight. Or gaming.
Yeah, or gaming. Okay. So now, I wanted to ask you something. If you could remember the first time you took the stage, how old were you? You remember? You took the stage, like, okay, you're going to go rap your song. Let's go. Here's the mic.
I want to say like I was 20.
Okay. Now.
Around 20, yeah.
You have the jitters?
I did. I still get them.
Really?
I still get them till this day. Yeah. I don't think that feeling's ever going to go away. The day it does, I feel, though. I feel like I'd never perform again.
Okay. Now, is it a mixture of the jitters and excitement?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's cool. Because I remember, I started DJing in junior high school, so I did a lot of noon dances. So when I would pick up the needle to put on the record, I would be like this. Because I was fucking nervous. I had maybe about 100 kids dancing. If I fucked up, it's on me.
Yeah.
But so when I started DJing in my 20s, like whenever I went on tour with Quick, Second to None, and the whole camp, and I could be in front of 500 or maybe 17,000 people, and it just came normal. But I was kind of disappointed in myself because I didn't get the jitters anymore. I wanted that excitement.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I feel like that's important. That's an important part of what's going to come out.
Okay. Now, you performed. What was the response?
That performance, I remember, I think I was more scared at that one. The response for that one was more of, I guess they were vibing, but it wasn't my set. Like, all those people were not there for me. So It's not like I had a dead crowd. It was just not for me. They weren't there for me at all. So, but it was a cool experience to be able to. It was in another state. So that was a big deal to me.
Okay. Now, and that was your first show?
That was my first show.
Okay. And what state was this?
In El Paso, Texas.
Good old El Paso.
Yeah.
Yeah, I rocked a lot of shows out there as well. Now, in 2012, if I'm correct, you were featured on Miss Crazy's album.
I was.
Okay. Forgive, Not Forget.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How did you meet her? Can you share with us?
Well, Miss Crazy at that time was the female doing it. Okay. I'm talking about Jimmy and the crew. They knew how to market. They knew how to, they had those reaches, and she till this day still breaks records that a lot of us haven't yet. So she was like the it girl. And I remember I would hit her up all the time, and it was I would just love watching her hustle. You know, just like I enjoy watching all the girls hustle. You know, I've always been all about women empowerment. That's been a thing for me since the beginning. Because if we are not kind to each other, who's going to be kind to us?
Definitely not the men.
Exactly. So, you know, it's always been, you know, like that. And so at that time, you know, she reached out to me. She saw what I was doing. At that time, we had a group called the Chicano movement. And it was me and 5 other females, I think. But we weren't a group. It was like we all just featured on each other's tracks and, again, mixtapes and all that stuff. So we did that for a while. And again, I got tired. Yeah, but that's another story. But she reached out to us. And at that time, it was just me and Miss Lovely that were active. The other girls were kind of just, you know, doing whatever their own thing, you know.
Okay.
And so she reached out to both of us. She asked me come through to Montebello to D Salas' studio, and I want to see what you got. And I said, okay. I said, I'm scared as shit, but okay, let's do it.
Why were you scared?
I was scared because this was another, I think, level that I got into my career. I feel like Wicked Babydoll had her buzz going, but I feel like as soon as I jumped on her record, that's when it really took off, you know. And I was nervous. I was dealing with a professional studio, was dealing with somebody that was playing the guitar in my face, building this beat. Like, this was a new experience. It was, you know, something that I always remember. So as I'm sitting there writing, because she didn't send the beat like most of us, you know, she said, come through, we're building this beat. I want you to sit here and listen and see what you could come up with.
And is this the first time you actually meet her in person?
Yes. So that was also a little bit intimidating because as females, you know, and I'm going to say this for everybody, I don't care what girls say, we are all kind of territorial and we're all kind of not on the same vibe all the time. So we can't, you know, step on toes or, you know, come a little too strong, or, you know, you gotta know how to handle the situation, right, with females, especially if you're trying to get along with them.
Yeah.
You know, so you gotta just fill out the vibe and see how that goes. And that's exactly how I took that situation, you know, just filling her out, seeing where she was about, you know, and I met a lot of assholes, you know. I've met people that I thought were dope as fuck and thought they were humble and just, you know, that type of person, and they're just not, you know. So that was my fear with her, that, you know, she was maybe going to be stuck up, or maybe, you know, it just wasn't going to go well. And because my personality's so fucking strong, like I just come off like an asshole, like people just think I'm this bitch, right? So that's why I'm like so, you know. But yeah, that was definitely, I was nervous at that time.
Okay, so you guys get there, they're building the beat. Yeah. And what was your impression of her?
She was I was surprised because she was so humble. She was so down to earth. Like, when I got there, it was no, I'm Miss Crazy and you're just some rapper I just met. There was no, you know, I'm this and that and you're lesser than, or, you know, feeling that you usually get with other people. I don't think she ever gave me that vibe at all. You know, the whole entire time she took us under her wing, and it was like, it was dope. You know, nobody was going to do that at that time. Let me tell you. Nobody was going to sit there and try to, you know, kick some knowledge to you and let you know, like, yo, you know, this is how it goes and you shouldn't do this. And you probably shouldn't work with this person, or be mindful of who you're dealing with, you know, stuff like that. So I was very appreciative of her.
Yeah. And you know what? I want to say this, and I think people that know me know where I'm coming from. That's the way I've always been. I don't want to I don't like to use the word take people under my wing. I like to say that if I don't help you myself, I can at least point you in the right direction.
Yeah.
What to do, what not to do. Because I've told people, you know what, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't want to paint a bad picture about that person, but most people that fuck with that person, nothing ever comes out of them. So I would probably not, you know, come over here. He's got his own studio. This guy, you know, you could build with him or whatnot. I know you probably like this person, but it's not a good move. It's up to you ultimately. I never tell anybody what to do. I just give them advice, and then from there, use wisdom and apply it, and you do you know. But that's what I like to do, especially with this platform. I want to create an avenue for Latinos in general to for the door to be open and for their voice to be heard, you know. And you'll be surprised. I mean, if I were to get like 100 comments in a day, I would say maybe like 5 of them will be negative. And even though a lot of people like to focus on the negative, the positive is much more overwhelming.
It always is.
Much more. But you'll have that one motherfucker, you know.
That makes you react?
Well, it makes me want to kill his ass, but I just like, you know what, I'm going to not reply or just tell him
something. Yeah, that's me all day. I don't reply. I don't respond. There's no point.
But you know what, sometimes you just kind of want to, I Googled one time, how do you stalk somebody through the internet? But it had no answers. Maybe an emoji. But now, but I'm glad she did it. And if she's watching, I do want to say that years ago on MySpace, we actually were messaging each other because I wanted to do something, you know, and I was wishing her the best. And I think she was telling me she was pregnant at the time. I'm not sure. But I wanted to do something with her because I didn't start working with Chicano rappers till like I'm going to say like 96 on up. That's when I started working with a lot of Chicanos. I get a lot of people that tell me, where were you when Chicano rap was at its prime? Where were you? I like to answer like this. Well, when do you think Chicano rap was in its prime? Okay? Because I started it from the very beginning. And by you asking that question, are you pretty much saying that Chicano rap is, you know, past its prime? You know, so it's kind of a dumb question.
Yeah, that is.
So, but I work, I can name them all, from Little Rob to Slow Pain to AOT to, I did a lot of tracks for a lot of people, but I've never been one que era bien presumido. I did this. I'll just let my, now
eventually it'll flow through years.
My Wikipedia now, who my boy John set up, I just text him that, who the fuck are you? And I just text it to him. So anyways, other than that, so, was that a one-day thing that you worked with her, or?
It was, it was, I think we were there for a good 10 hours.
Okay, and you dropped your verse there. Okay.
That day.
And is that still available today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, obviously 2012 was on her album.
Yeah, it was. Okay. It was a long time ago.
Did you do any shows with her?
I did. That was the first show I had in El Paso.
Dope. Yeah. Now, how did you feel that like you're flying out? I mean, were you excited about that?
That was definitely a diva moment. But it was not the first time that I had flown out.
Okay, explain a diva moment since I'm a male. What's a diva moment?
A diva moment was like, you know, I had to pat myself at the back and give myself, you know, credit for with that accomplishment.
Hell yeah.
The first time I flew out was in Chicago.
Okay.
I went to Chicago, and this was just on a mixtape release. And I did a meet and greet, and yeah.
How was the response on that?
Oh, I got love in Chi-Town. I did. Chicago, you know, showed love like no other.
Okay, now I'm gonna say this, and I'm glad you're sharing this because I know a bunch of dudes, and if they're hating, it's bullshit. Because I know a bunch of rappers that, they're really big on social media, and one thing a lot of these guys don't know, whenever they say they're gonna go there, sometimes I'll show up low key, and I'll be at a corner. And these guys, let's just say they got over 100,000 followers, okay? I swear to you, they may get 50 people. And I'm thinking to myself, look, dude, you look like you're freaking Will Smith on social media, okay? But you can't even get 100 people of your own followers to show up to go support you, you know? And these are the same guys that reach out to me for an interview. I give them dates. I never hear back from them ever again. So I don't know what's going on with these guys. A lo mejor se les fue la cabeza. Maybe they allow social media to get to them. But
something going on.
For you to say you went to Chi-Town and you get love, that's dope, man.
Yeah, it was love. It was love. Even though it was a mixtape, you know, we were slaying them, and I sold out of everything I printed, and that was an accomplishment. You know, that was an accomplishment. I was not performing at the time. This was just two dudes trying to sign me at the time, and I met so many people on that trip. I was up in the middle of Chicago.
Okay.
In a studio with a bachata singer.
Okay. I need to ask you this because I do believe that we're going to cover this in the documentary, and I believe it's an important question. You being a Latina, have you ever been offered a major record deal by a major label? Let's just say Paramount, Interscope, whatever. Okay. See, one of my questions that I think is important for our people is this. that why, if we, I mean, look at the numbers, whether it be YouTube, whether it be Spotify, whether it be whatever, the numbers are all there, okay? And we support hip hop. I like to say, especially here in California, we are hip hop's economy, okay? We buy the apparel, we buy the tickets, and I've said this over and over, and I sound like a broken record, but yet no record label, other than possibly maybe a Frost, a Cypress Hill, a Mellow Mayonnaise, and it stops there. And me, I had a major record deal. Possibly Lighter Shade of Brown, but you can count them with like one hand.
Yeah, you can.
And I wonder why, you know. I've had people that have told me, well, you know, I've been offered deals, but I didn't accept them. You know, I wanted to be independent. I would call my friends I worked at this label, like, did you go offer this guy a record deal? No. So, okay, this guy lied. But but I wonder why, you know. What's the problem? You know, we're not talented enough, you know, but yet you go places and, you know, people come, they show you love, etc. I can kind of understand now why dudes hate on you.
I mean, yeah, but still, I get it, but still, it's not fair, you know. And it is what it is, you know. I think I've accepted at this point, like, well, fuck y'all then. Yeah. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and worry about y'all.
Right.
Too much to worry about.
Right.
But you know, like I said, the fact that I was able to fly out to all these different places on a paid tip, that's already an accomplishment. You know.
No, I agree.
Flights paid, you know, paid to go, paid, you know, everything. So it's like.
Have you had the opportunity to go outside of the U.S. yet?
No, not yet.
Okay.
And I you know, I've gotten offers to do so, you know, to go to Japan, but it was more of again, not for me. Mm-hmm. It was like going through somebody else, and I hate that. Like, I'll never ride anyone's coattails. I'm not gonna do that. Right. So that's also the reason why I am where I am. Like, I could easily kiss up to everybody, and I could fit in where, you know, it is what it is, but I don't go that way, and I refuse to.
Okay. And is there a reason, or is it just because?
I just don't want anybody to say they gave me shit.
That's good.
You know, I want to be able to say, no, I worked my ass off. You know, I went through this, but I got it fucking done.
Right.
You know, and I want to be able to take all the credit. I don't want to have anybody trying to say they did anything.
And I know it's not a prideful thing, what it is, maybe to a certain extent, not in a bad way, but be proud of yourself to be able to say, I built this.
Exactly.
You know, I built it. It's not, I didn't ride somebody's coattail. I didn't dick ride anybody.
Exactly.
Because there's a bunch of people out there like that, you know.
There's too many people out there like that. I'm just.
Yeah. So.
You know.
Could have dropped any names. But anyways, so now here you have the same year that Miss Crazy 2012, you dropped 2 mixtapes. You dropped A Babydoll's Tale and The Words of the Wicked. Mm-hmm. Elaborate a little bit on A Babydoll's Tale.
So A Babydoll's Tale, and I've always referred myself to a storyteller.
Okay.
I hate the term rapper. I usually just say I'm telling you stories. So A Babydoll's Tale was literally my life with my ex, and the things I was involved in, and the things that were going on at the time, and all the stuff that I was going through, my transition. I feel like as a, you know, a young lady to an adult, you know, just that transition. And Words of the Wicked was more of that darker side coming out, and that, you know, all that stuff. Like, this is why they call me Wicked. That song goes hard. Like, if you hear it, my voice is something else. So just that heavy hitter type of song, I feel.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. And that one, and then you dropped, if I'm correct, in the same year, The Words of the Wicked, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, can you elaborate a little bit on that one?
Words of the Wicked was more of just getting all my anger out. That was the more like angry, more raw song, you know. I remember I wrote a song called Revolucion on that song, on that mixtape, and that song, we were so sad because it wasn't an original beat and I couldn't do much with it. It was more like, you know, it was such a dope song, but we couldn't do anything with it. But we did, you know, I recorded the music video for it in Chicago, and I know he still has this footage. If you're listening to me, you better hit me up. So we recorded this music video out there, and it was dope. just a very dope Spanish hip hop song, talking about, you know, all the bullshit that was going on at that time, and I just wanted to put it in song form.
Okay, now I wanted to ask you this question now in Spanish. I know you rap in Spanish as well. What inspired that? Was there a certain person, or just you just wanted to express yourself in Spanish?
I've always rapped in Spanish. It was not someone inspired me or nothing. Like that was Spanish was my first language, so that's what I started writing in. You know, Spanish. So it's crazy to be able to go back and forth. But for the longest time, I stopped rapping in Spanish because I didn't want to be put in this box, and I stopped. But then it felt like so off not rapping in Spanish. It's just second nature.
Right.
So I just stopped giving a fuck about whatever the fuck genre they wanted to throw me in. I don't care. Like, whatever, I'm going to do what I want. And so, yeah, it's been cool ever since.
Okay.
No fucks given.
Now, Wicked Babydoll, did you ever have another name before that?
Just Babydoll.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what made you or inspired you to put Wicked?
I think because when I was going by Babydoll, a lot of people were like, well, you don't really sound sweet at all. You sound like, you know, you want to kill somebody through this song. And so I was like, you know what? That's so true. This isn't working out. And I think that's the reason why I just wanted to have it in there. And, you know, like my grandfather, he's just like me. You know, he tells me all the time, I don't want to, no quiero decir nada porque, you know, no va a ser que vaya a pasar. And it was just a thing because every time he would get mad and he would say something, the shit happened.
Really?
And you're just like, you're a brujo, Grandpa. You are. Yeah. Like, there's no other explanation. So I started catching on to me doing that. And it was more of like, you know, I have witch vibes. Like, I'll say something and then I just immediately bite my tongue and I'm like, oh, please, God, don't let it happen. I was just talking shit. I was so mad. But yeah, I just get so paranoid about stuff like that, you know, and that's what it is. That's really what it is. That's why Wicked Babydoll is.
Do you ever argue in your head?
Yeah. Don't you all? Like,
no, I do.
I do shit.
I was telling my brother the other day, I was like, I was fucking this dude up in my head the other day. And then I reminded myself, like, okay, I gotta stop. Porque, ¿sabes por qué?
That's so funny.
Because the guy that I was going off on ended up calling me and I picked it up and what the fuck does he want?
Shit.
Yeah, and I was like, oh shit. So, yeah.
That's funny.
2014, the Hate Me EP.
All those beats were Tox's beats.
Okay. And how did that do for you?
The Hate Me EP did really good. I think everybody was kind of like finally something original, something, you know. It did get a lot of feedback as, you know, as far as the production. I never, you know, in working with Tox out in France, he wasn't the one mixing and mastering my stuff, so everything sounds really botched, you know, like all my stuff doesn't sound like studio quality the way that it does now. So back in the day it sounded really rugged and really like, and just, you know, people starting to do what they do, so it's like it just was not sounding you know, 100%. So so that's where the negative comments came from. But as far as the whole thing, I think everybody was just impressed, I feel, on the fact that I was rapping on certain things that they didn't think I would ever rap about. So it was more of like a surprise when it, you know, when everybody listened to it. It was definitely like, what the fuck are you even talking about, you know? But it was something I needed out, I feel. It needed to be on record.
Anybody out today that you would love to do collabs with?
I think all the women right now, all the women that are doing something, you know, Reverie, Snow the Product, Gavlin, you know, all those girls. I had opportunities to meet certain females, you know, again, didn't think that this and that, and it turns out, you know, but it's definitely all the girls. I definitely would love to do something with all the girls, just as a female, you know, united type of thing.
Okay, now if I were to ask you, say I were to say, I want to produce a beat for that. What type of beat would you be looking for? Some boom bap shit, some radio shit, some nightclub?
Boom bap beat, for sure. Yeah. I would have to have a song like that with all the girls.
Okay, now what is it about boom bap that like draws you to that? Like,
it just hits home. Like, I'm, listening to my shit and I'm like, this is like, I would get high and, chill with this. Like, this is what I want to do for people when they're listening to my shit is, a vibe. It's just a vibe.
I did an interview sometime last year, and I kept mentioning boom bap. Okay, all last year I did like about 60 interviews, and because I was promoting this. Okay, and some dude asked me a good question. If you were to name one song talking about boom bap, what's the first song that comes to your mind when you talk about boom bap? And it was the first song. I'm sure you've heard of it. If not, look it up. It was a song called "Criminal Minded" by BDP, Babydoll Productions. To me, when he said, name me one dope boom bap, and I was like, that one right there. That's my shit. Everybody always knows me that I always say that when it comes to hip hop, I think, of course, Babydoll Productions, KRS-One, and Rakim are probably the epitome of hip hop for me. Yeah. And I love that shit. Now, people say, well, I thought you loved the West Coast. Yes, I do.
It's different.
Yes, it is.
I'm not trying to talk shit, but it's different. Like Method Man's one of my favorite rappers. I can listen to Meth all day. Oh. And it's just I love listening to his voice. Like whatever comes out of the man's mouth, I'm listening. But it's just it's a vibe. They give you that vibe. Wu-Tang. I listen to Wu-Tang all the time. It's something I listen to. That's it.
Okay.
I'm listening to. And that's the thing with my music is that I've listened to everything already that I just want to do all of it.
Yeah.
I just want to do all of it. Like for the love that I have for disco, like love I have for old school rock music. Like,
yeah, dope.
I love it all. So I definitely want to do a little bit of everything.
Okay. So now say that I'm a promoter and I say, okay, I want to hire you to perform. First of all, how long are your performances usually?
Usually 15 to 30 minutes.
Okay, so let's just say, I want you for 20 minutes. Okay. How many songs could you say, give me a number, you could do within 20 minutes?
Well, usually they're not full songs. So you're getting like a whole mix.
Right.
So I want to say if I could fit, maybe 10 songs.
Okay, 10. And if I were to say, can you name me at least 6? What are your songs and which one do you do last?
Last time, I think, recently I've been doing the new songs last.
Because you're pushing.
Yeah. So I'm doing all the stuff I already know and building up to that moment to where I got to remember something totally new that I haven't performed. Okay. So that's the process.
Mm-hmm. What do you do when you forget your lyrics?
It's bad.
Now,
I'll freeze. I'll freeze. Sometimes I freeze and I catch myself and I'm like, fuck.
And you're I gotta make keep going. Some noise.
Yeah, but I gotta keep going. Like, you're not just gonna sit there and you gotta keep going. Doesn't matter what you do, you just go.
Okay. Well, what's one song that you could say that people request from you the most? Is there that one song?
I think that Revelation's that song.
Okay. And why do you think?
Because it's so political.
Uh-huh.
In the video, it was a specific time I was talking about. I was talking about when the pipelines were going on and all this stuff. So I got really political with that one. And I needed to show what they were doing to Native American people. Okay. And I did. I showed it in my video.
Okay. Did you get any backlash on that?
No.
Good.
No. Everything was very positive with that video.
Okay, now I'm going to ask a question that somebody DM'd me. I usually accept all my questions through my Gmail. Okay, roadiumradio@gmail.com. I usually tell people, do not DM me. Do not tell me you want to see this person. Do not send me their music. I don't click on links on social media. Send them all to my Gmail. But one guy today said, can you ask her one question? And I just said, sure. So his question was, how was it performing or opening up for the Untouchables at the Regent? I think it was in December or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Care to elaborate?
I think that show was one of those times where you feel that you've reached another level in your career.
Okay.
You know, that was definitely one of those shows. As much as everybody knows who I am on social media and stuff, I'm not really out there like that. Like, I don't, you know, people invite me to their music videos and the studio, and they invite me to everything, but I never go. I'm such a homebody. It's not even funny. So the fact that I wanted to do this show was a shocker to everybody. They're like, what? You want to perform out here in LA? Why? And I don't perform out here, and I said I'm not gonna perform until I sell out a venue. So I don't really perform out here. It's very rare that you see me accept a show. Usually money's involved, and that's why I got there. There's no way I'm gonna just go for the love of anything.
Just to show up, yeah.
So this show was one of those, like I said, a stepping stone. It was dope. You know, I think the promoters for that show showed me love from the beginning. You know, they're like, you're dope, dude. Like, you have to come out with a different sound on stage, and they're expecting a certain sound because of who's closing the show. But just listening to what you're gonna put out there, I think we need more of that. So it was really dope. It was really dope to be thought of like that.
Okay, well, there you go, guys. She answered your question, so and I asked her. So, other than that, I know you said you don't do a lot of shows, and I remember talking to you. You said, "I don't do videos. I won't come out in your fucking video."
I won't. No.
Okay.
Don't invite me. I won't come. Sorry.
And I'm glad you're like that. You know, so you know what that does? That weeds out the fucking lames. You know what I'm saying? And it brings in the people that are fucking serious and really want to get down to business. Yeah. Okay. So now I want to put you on the spot. When we meet this budget, I do want to interview you on this documentary.
Oh, okay.
So
I'm down.
You cool with that?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys, look, I got her on video. Okay. So, no, I really, really do, because I really do want to women's point of view on the questions that I want to ask them. Okay. Now, a couple of chismes were floating around on YouTube when I posted up your flyer. Okay. And I wanted to ask you, was there ever, or maybe I might have read it wrong, was there ever anything between you and Miss Lovely, I think? Is that her name? Yeah, there was beef. For many reasons. You know, she's a Scorpio, I'm a Scorpio, and we're kind of just, like I said, very loud and in your face. And we don't like to be told what to do. And I think that me and her just had that sister relationship, because she was older than me and she thought she knew best, and I was like that young teenager, like, no, fuck you, like, no, it's not gonna happen like that. So there was beef, you know, that created beef with other females. You know, I got messages from all types of other rapper females, and they were coming after me, like, you know, I heard you fucking said this and that, and I'm like, honestly, dude, I'm hood, like, I don't got time for this shit. You feel me? Like, if you don't got a fucking, like, just don't wake the bear. Like, leave me the fuck alone. And, you know, I've had all kinds of situations like that from that specific beef. Okay. So, you know, obviously our relationship changed. You know, people just grow, and some of us don't have to sit here and fight every fucking day. You know, me and her are not on bad terms. For those wondering, I'm not, you know, speaking ill on her. She doesn't speak ill on me. You know, I see how she's, you know, handling her kids, and there's nothing but love there. You know, there's nothing but love for everybody that I've ever dealt with, you know, whether they've done me wrong or not. I don't care. You know, I'm not going to sit here and wish bad upon anybody. Okay. You know, I seen a meme. I think it's a meme that kind of reminds me of you. And I think it was talking about a Scorpio. It says something like that. When you tell Latina as a Scorpio, have a good day, her response is, don't fucking tell me what to do. Yeah, exactly. Like, that's exactly us. Okay. Now, what can we expect from you? What are you working on right now? I know this whole Corona bullshit has fucked up. Cagar el palo. Yeah. So, what can we expect from you? Would you have been performing if this shit would have not happened? Oh, yeah. Okay.
I would have started, leaving again. And, I recently had a baby, so that stopped a lot of my traveling. But prior to this, thank you. From this, I was getting ready to go, and supposed to go back to Chicago, supposed to go back to Denver. There's just a lot of places I was supposed to be at, and everything kind of just came to a halt with all this.
Yeah.
So I definitely would have been gone.
To be in Denver in June. I DJ out there a lot. I rarely ever DJ anymore, but I got a friend that lived in South Central, moved to Denver, bought a house out there, and he now does clubs out there. And he's like, Tony, I need you over here, homie. And I fuck around and go, dude, I'm a fucking old dude, bro. I'm not going to be out there. Come on, bro. We need to bring that West Coast shit over here.
Funny.
So I do it. So I just got booked to be there in June. So hopefully this shit is
I was
over with.
supposed to be in July in Sacramento.
Okay.
For a Salvadorian festival.
Okay.
So I'm bummed about that. I really wanted to do that. Because for some time I got into doing urban music too.
Okay.
So I was happy about that. And now it's kind of like you gotta wait.
Okay, so as far as music is concerned?
So I'm working on my album. Tunnel Vision is set to release this year. I'm more than halfway done with it. I think right now we're just waiting on people's verses to come in and me finalizing my vocals and how I want it to actually sound.
Okay.
As opposed to what I was just messing around with in the studio that day.
Okay. You care to give who's you're collaborating with? If you don't want to, that's fine.
Not at this moment, because I actually scratched some songs.
Okay.
So I don't want to, give out who got scratched. They'll just find out.
Okay. Any dudes?
What was that?
Any dudes on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right now, there's going to be some people from Nala that I think are dope as fuck. I want to bring out. And there's just a lot of, like I said, vibes, different scenarios. I got to get into that mode to be able to record it. So everything's written out. It's just about recording it and it's sounding just right.
Okay. I just picked up a drum machine. I'm going to give a shout out to my boys. Boom Bap meets the G shit. They let me borrow their old school drum machine, and I'm going to start doing a lot of boom bap shit. I made, if you like some of it.
I'm down.
I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not the kind of person that's going to be like, I want this much. You know what? If I think you fit that and you like it, that's for you. Okay, that's just the way I am, because I want to open doors and I want to help people. Look, I'm 52 years old. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be here. I'll be real with you. My mom passed away at 63 years old. So if I get to live that long, I got 11 years left. That's the way I look at life now. I look at things differently. But my father passed away, I think I want to say 85, 87. So hopefully if I take care of myself, I'll be able to live that damn long. But, anyways. But I really, truly want to help our people and just people in general as well. So,
and that's dope. Not a lot of people will do that.
Well, I wish they would,
Yeah,
and,
they should. They should. We all should.
But
I think it's more of they don't want to, see you doing better than them. And it is what it is.
Well, but anyways, I'm looking at some of the comments, and some of these comments are like real fucking hilarious. But,
oh my God.
I'm not even gonna.
Oh my God.
I'm not even gonna look at. I just turned it on because I stopped the time. But some of these guys are like really, really like hilarious. I'm not even gonna give them any shine, but because the only way you can comment is if you're a subscriber, so they're faithful subscribers.
Yeah. Well, as long as they're watching.
Hey, keep going.
Right.
So, anyways, and there's about 324 of y'all. So, but actually, I'll double that. There's probably about 700 or 800 people total. Other than that, you know what I think you should try to work on? Coming out with a wicked Babydoll. Have you thought about that?
I have. Probably not in the same way you have, but yeah, I have.
Not the blow up doll.
I've thought about a lot of things.
Okay.
I think I've thought about like 50 businesses in my head that I could start right now, but I think right now I got my plate pretty full.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. My boy Night Owl, he blessed me with this, and I thought it was cool. So I push it. My boy Night Owl, and maybe like I said, when I'm on the.
Yeah, I think that'd be really dope.
Yeah, I think that would be dope.
Just a cute little, yeah.
So other than that, at this point, you want to give any shout outs? You want to say anything? You want to cuss somebody out?
Before we get off the air, Wicked, Beauty by Wicked is coming. Beauty by Wicked. My makeup line is coming.
Really?
Yes. and I am super excited. I can't wait to launch.
That's a dope name, by the way.
Yeah, I can't wait to launch all my products. But oh yeah, that's coming. Tunnel Vision's coming. I'm featuring with a lot of people right now, and yeah, Isaac. I want to give you a shout out. I hope you're watching me. Isaac's my producer, by the way.
Okay.
He did all the beats for Revelation, and he's doing all the ones for Tunnel Vision.
Oh.
So Isaac's out in San Bernardino, and yeah.
Respect,
and that's pretty much.
So,
it.
well, what was the name of your makeup again? Beauty by Wicked?
Yeah.
Okay. Can men wear it?
I mean,
the reason why I'm asking is because there's a lot of guys out there watching that have boyfriends. So I'm just asking, can they wear it?
yeah, I mean, whatever floats your boat.
Hey, there's a lot of guys out there. I know who you are, homeboy. So believe me, girls talk. So
They better buy my shit.
yeah. Okay. So any other shout outs? Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay. You know Salvi Mommy, right?
Yeah. She has this real dope shirt on right now, and
Yes.
it's part of her new merch. And if you don't know who that is, search it. Salvi Mommy.
Okay. Salvi Mommy brought me what is it called? A man meal, not a happy meal, a man meal. And it says step on here, and I'm gonna open it. Salvi Mommy once again, and she brought me a bunch of stickers, dope stickers. Okay, a couple of them. I'm gonna put them right here. Then she brought me a button, right?
Oh,
a pin,
yeah.
a pin, a pin. Okay, and the dope shirt.
I love you.
Let me see. The dope shirt. Oh shit, long sleeve. I don't know if they can you get that, Johnny? I know I'm covering myself.
This is her new shirt.
It's her new shirt. So I'm gonna sport this. Oh shit. And she's on the sleeve. I don't know if it's kind of hard to see. She's on the sleeve. I'm gonna wear this on Wednesday when I have my special guest, the long awaited guest that a lot of people have been asking for.
Nice.
And he will finally be here. And a keychain. I'm gonna put this on my keys. So you can DM her at Salvi Mommy on Instagram, correct? Hit her up for the keychain, for the stickers, for the pen, and for the dope Los Angeles shirt. I'm gonna sport this Wednesday, okay? For once again, my long-awaited guest, and he will be here, and you guys will not be disappointed, and actually even some candies. Some candies, okay? So I'm blessed. Other than that, I want to thank you for coming here, for giving me the opportunity to interview you.
Thank you for
And
having me.
After you blow the fuck up, please promise me you'll come back.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, cool, cool. And your friend from 3rd grade. Okay. And once again, the Grand Master, Infinite. Thank you for coming
If y'all
through.
haven't heard Pandemic, go now. Apple Music.
Yes. And I want to give a shout out to my boy John motherfucking Elkins, as I always do. This guy has his own edible tampons coming out soon. This guy has women's what is it? Nail polish, okay, and a scented wax for women. And I know a lot of you do wax too as well. So make sure you guys hit him up at John motherfucking Elkins on Instagram. All that will be out soon. Was there anything I'm missing, John? Dick pumps. Oh, that's from my brother, Spice Smuggler. Hit him up on Instagram. He's selling dick pumps. Used. Some are used, but like 2 or 3 times that he used them. See if they worked, but they're still good. My boy Daniel DG Media Clips. Reach him on Instagram, DG Media Clips. And also, I just want to thank myself. Thank you, Tony. Oh shit! And my son, Cujo. Much love, much respect to you and my other son, B Scamness. So thank you for promoting, help me promote this. Once again, buy me out, you guys. I'm selling out real fast, okay? 4 for $30, TRND 20% off the documentary, and the donation, okay? Donate. You guys will not be disappointed. So Wednesday, I'm gonna have me a special guest here, okay? You guys are not gonna want to miss this. I know tomorrow the fucking cheese miss are gonna be off the hook. Okay, so make sure you guys check me out on Instagram, Facebook, and on YouTube. And subscribe, hit the subscribe button on Facebook. I'm trying to hit 20K by the end of May. Okay, that's my goal, 20K. So once again, have a blessed night. We'll talk soon. Wicked Babydoll, thank you once again. And we're going to drink more. I'm going to give her a couple of more shots. So we're out of here, pal.